gives me great pleasure to say good evening and welcome to Premier Speedway for the 21st running of the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic. Would you all please stand for the playing of Advance Australia Fair. What's here, the classic for 1993, the 21st running of the event. We're going into tiles straight off to get some big points up. Little different in pouring from the Quid Championship. Fast time will bring us 50 big points. The first one to go away with this one will be Danny Smith from Danville, Indiana in the United States of America. He's in car number 7 for Darrell Nash Race Victoria. Out there for High Lift, Travel Towers. The clock is running. Keep your eye on it. Up in the 3-4 turn for all of you. Danny Smith, first of 2. George Tatnall's 11.02. And have a look at this. 11.94. 11.94 for Danny Smith. Can he go quicker? Up into 3. He gives it plenty coming off the 4th turn. Smith, 11.80. A quicker one for him. 11.80, quickest of 2 for Danny Smith. Well, it's 50 as he come through. Chris Ackland will be the next one. We're picking him up in the 19 car. The 19 car of Chris Ackland off the 2nd turn. Back straight action for him. I've got a couple of heavyweights following him after this time. And first of 2 for Chris Ackland. Hey, that's nice. 12.67. 12.67 for Chris Ackland. Pointing the thing in the right direction, gives it a big boot for the 3-4 turn, running the mid-track line, comes off 4, and a 12.62. 12.62 for Chris. They'd be happy with that one. Max Dubsney, he's here to the Classic Crown. He won it in 92. He's just won the Quid Champion, and he's there for car number 5 for Valvoline. Off turn number 4, straight in the 11.66. I have it for Dumsney. 11.66. Dumsney to turn 3. Time of 11.02. Still up for grabs. 11.63. 11.63. Fast time so far for Dumsney at 11.63. Let's watch the Grand Champ. 7 times Classic winner, 10 times the champion. From Sydney, New South Wales, wearing number 1. And for Castro, it's Gary Rush. Rush around the 3-4 turn. 11.55. Straight into quick time. 11.55 for Rush. Up into turn number 3. At the office, doing it nicely. Off 4. And quicker again. 11.53. 11.53. It's with Gary Rush at the moment. Car number 11 from Diggers Rest Victoria for Drosty Racing. Also for NZ at Pennzoil, it is Ian Lewis. Lewis up into 3. Brings the car down onto the apex. At a 12.94. 12.94. First of 2 for the Flying Fly from Diggers Rest. Up into 3. Cocks the car round off 4. And a 12.49. 12.49 for Lewis. 29 for Ian Lewis as we watch the 1987 national champion Brett Lacey from Burwood in Victoria in the 21 car. It's the Brian Donaldson-owned car out of Perth. And Brett's been behind the wheel. 12.20 just into the 12s. 12.20 for Brett Lacey. Second at 2, the chassis is a Schnee. Off turn number 4 for him. And a 12.03 for Brett. 12.03 for Brett Lacey. Fast time at this stage in time, Gary Rush. 11.53 as we watch car number 3 for KBT. Overnight Express, it's Robert Farr from Sydney and New South Wales. And the KBT car off turn 4, 12.27. 12.27. Robert Farr down at the Civic Green this morning, and our thanks to Dennis and the boys out for us. Check, second time, 12.20 for Rob Farr. And we're still counting down. We've got George Tatnell to be amongst the lineup. David Anderson last night to third spot at Mount Gambier. Won a quit round there. One fast time at one tracks, having a good year. And a nice one for David. Straight to the 11s, 11.81. Will we get into the 10s is the $50 question. Anderson up into turn number 3. Looks a little quicker this time. He can drive off the right rear. And 11.76. 11.76, a great effort. 11.76 for him as we see the man who won way back in 1968 the National Championships in super modifieds, as it were. Bob Tunks is the driver's name. He comes out of Sydney, Wales. He's out for Federal Motor. His sponsors, along with his son Grant. 12.56 for Bob Tunks first time around. Bob Tunks, by my memory, second in the 86 Australian title here at Warrnambool to Gary Rush. And Tunks through quicker time, 12.39. 12.39. Gary Rush still up on top of that leaderboard with maximum points with 11.53. As we see the winner of last night's race at Borderline Speedway, out of racing over there in that picturesque little bull ring, it is Phil March from St Peters, South Australia. And a 12.23 to open his account for Phil. Mid-track line racing for him. We'll watch him up at number 3. Sponsored by Les March Daihatsu out of St Peters in Adelaide. And second of 2 into the 11s. 11.98. 11.98. Former Victorian champion and runner-up in the same event the year after, Ken Veal from right here in Warrnambool or nearby. Don't get technical about stuff. He's in car number 8 for Union Steel. And a 12.91 for Ken. Running real highline stuff here, a little bit of Knoxville if you like. And around the 3-4 turn up into that cool clay. And he runs a quicker time at 12.64. 12.64. Both Rush's times are still the best according to Stuart Owen. As we see the double 8 car out of Bendigo, Victoria for Diecrest. And it's Les Harrower. Les Harrower from Bendigo. Off the 4th turn coming around. 12.9 to open his account for Les Harrower. Second lap coming up. And he's really giving it a big bootful. Up into turn 3. Les Harrower looking good. Off turn number 4. And a better time for him. 12.29. 12.29 for Les Harrower on his second lap. Still, Gary Rush on top of the leaderboard. 11.53. Been impressed by this guy. Quite impressed as his improvement this year has been unbelievable. Phil Middleton, the 12 car from Victoria. And a 12.91 to open up Phil's account. He's a guy who we saw at the start of the season just running around, and he's a guy who's now getting serious with his sprint car racing and doing a good job. Second time for Phil Middleton. A quicker one, 12.32. 12.32 for Phil Middleton as we wait for the second of the Americans, Bill Bailey. He's from Grove City, Pennsylvania in the United States of America, driving a rather old car this season, which arrangement with him, he's bringing his own hopefully next year. He builds race cars in the US. First time for Bill Bailey, 12.38. 12.38. Grove City, Pennsylvania on the east coast of America. He's here with Bill Lyle, his mechanic, and they're making big plans for next season. 12.39. 12.39. So just a tad slower. for his fastest time. Going right through to 29 with our qualifiers. Fred Edwards, another guy who has impressed us greatly with his ability to improve through this season in the 5.5 car. And Fred running the diamond in the 5.5 car. Timer is running. We're up into the 3-4 turn. A budget racer comes by and a 13.70, 13.70 for Fred Edwards. He's on the back straight, the black 55 car. The tricky little lines down the side of it. He comes around, checkered flag. Second of 2 for Fred Edwards. Stops the clock. A quicker time, 13.21. 13.21 for him. Now, watch this young. He won the 15th round of the Quid Championship at Archerfield, Queensland. Did it in super quick time. He's very impressive. It's Brooke Tatnell for me. At 11.70 to open it up. We'll watch this one. Can he roll his father's 11.02? We'll watch him into turn number 3. He's really got the thing honking. Watch Brooke Tatnell coming through for Winfield Racing. 11.56, but not quick enough to roll Rushy. 11.56. Rush on 11.53. Kevin McCallum, the next one out to try his luck against the clock for Ready Mix. Kevin out of Geelong in Victoria in car number 60. Left 13.08 for his first one. Here comes the checkered flag for his second one. And into the 12s, 12.94. 94, best of 2 for Kevin McCallum. Gary Rush is still on top of the leaderboard, 11.50. And out the long sheet medal in car number 33. I shouldn't say this. The chicken pox kid, he's been in bed all week with chicken pox. Let's welcome him back from Tasmania, Appleby. 12.50. 12.50, first of 2. Did not had to miss out of the Quid Championship and the state title, which didn't happen, unfortunately, because of chicken pox. And a better time again, 12.48. So let's hope he has a great night. 12.48 for Dion Appleby, winner of the President's Award, I think it was. Chairman's Award. Thank you, Shane, correcting me, for his efforts. Butch Hunter for Graham Spargo Transport, the 73 car from Backers Marsh, Victoria. And the first of 2 for him, 13.60. Nice one for Butch. Not as some of the guys, but running a pretty basic engine with a budget team, but is putting it in as quick as he can. He comes up 4. And 13.42 for Butch Hunter. 13.42 for Butch. And have we got a little hiccup? I'm not too sure. 13.2, I think, was his 13.42. Waiting for the next one, car 16 from South Australia, out there for this Ford. Also for Hall Brothers, Earth Moving, it's Jamie Cobby. And have a look at this one, he's quick off 4.11, just into the 12s, 12.06. 12.06 for Cheese. And if you've seen him smile, you wouldn't wonder why they called him that nickname. Off turn 4. And a 12.17, so 12.06. His first of 2 was the one for him. Now the man who holds the 11.02 record here at Premier Speedway from San Susie, New South Wales, for Winfield Racing and Shallott's George Tatnell. And 12.34 right off it at the moment. But we're quicker around the 1-2 turn, and he's just holding it flat. We'll watch it into 3. Have a look at George. He's giving it a big pump up this time at 11.88. 11.88. Well, he's going to do it at the moment. Maybe this guy can. Also from Adelaide, south of the highway in, which is on Anzac Parade, I think it is, down to Glenelg Way. It's Peter Smith in car number 8, the ex-Tom Tomlinson car. First one for Pete, 12.58. 12.58. We'll see what he can do down into turn 3. Second of 2, 12.58 his time. He's got a better. And it does so, 24. 12.24, the better of 2 times Peter Smith from South Australia. Let's welcome all the way from Queensland for Freedom Homes at Bundaberg, it's Nathan MacDonald. Nathan, of course, has put on a top show here, run in the placings in the final round of the quit, and has been quick time in the series, and was third or fourth or something last night over there. 11.91. 11.91. First of two for the 32 car from Queensland, Nathan McDonald. He comes off turn number 4. Flag for him, and 11.79. 11.9, a good time. Of course, don't be frightened to give these guys a bit of a round of applause, especially this young man out there for Castrol. And Brazier Drum Recyclers out of New South Wales, the finest people in the 44 drum business. Gary Brazier is the racer. And 11.75 to open it up for young Gary. 11.75. Hasn't got the big engine in tonight, but whoa, Gary giving it plenty. And 11.99, so 11.75. 11.5 was his quicker or two. 2 to go, Wayne Bunker and Phil Johnson. Wayne Bunker from South Australia out there for Fuel and Stillwell Trucks. The 27 car. Around the 3-4 turn, the only wet sumped engine here tonight, I would think. 12.18. 12.18 for Bunks. He goes up the second turn, up into 3. Gasses it big time, off turn 4. And Wayne Bunker recording an 11.99. 11.99. Well, Gary Rush looking very strong with his 11.53. As we see only one man left on the circuit at the moment for Truck Traders. In car number 6, it's Phil Johnson. And Jono cooked it on the 3-4. And we'll watch him off the second turn. Johnson sitting down in the cockpit. 13.56 from around. 13.56 and a 12.38. 12.38. Well, he's back. Let me tell you, what about putting all your hands together at the moment? Fastest time tonight, and the first time back for 92.93 for Castrol. In Australia, number 1 with 11.53, Gary Rush. Come on, really put your hands together for him. Big return for him tonight here. He will earn 50 points. It will pay back down the line. It'll pay 46, 44, 42, 40, 38, right down the road. We're going to get a computer printout in the meantime. Have a little Coke and a smile, and we'll be back with a whole lot of action here at Premier Speedway. Let me tell you, this first run of the Classic is certainly going to be one to remember. Well, we're going to look at this one, heat number 1, where the pole sitter car 73, Butch Hunter. On the outside of him is Ackland, the second row made up of Ken Veal. Also out there is Bill Bailey from the United States. In car number 2, the third row made up of Robert and Phil March. The back row, David Anderson and Gary Rush. We'll watch this one. 10 up on the board then. Record of Darryl Nash is 157.67. He's looking for the slingshot. He's picked up 2 quickly. Problems for Robert Parr. Seem to get caught there. Robert Rush getting on with Anderson here right now. United States. Early race leader up the back. Turn number 3. He's in USA car number 2. Second is Ackland on the 19 car. Around him on the second turn. Rush in the meantime is on the hunt this time altogether. He comes around turn number 4, running short on the circuit. He'll make that quickly in position. He tries for that on the second turn and does so successfully. Bailey the American, March and Gary Rush is the order. They come around now, this time with 6 remaining. 6 laps at Premier Speedway, heat number 1 of the Classic. And that time looks at 1:57.60. Here's the time up for grabs. It's owned by Darryl Nash. It was broken at the Easter Trail in 92. Second lane action for Bill Bailey from Grove City. And Phil March has lost an engine, it looks like.
Bill March in trouble with another car. That is sideline onto the infield with a Smoking Joe. Well pursued by Rush. Ackland running third. Anderson fourth. Beale into fifth place. And March shuts down the Les March Daihatsu entry out on the exit to the pit row. Race leader down to the turn number 3. This time it'll be 2 around. Rush closing quickly on the American. We'll watch the action from here as they go around. It'll be 1.5 remaining this time. Rush the clean line over the second turn. Bailey hanging on. They come around the outside. He's got a slower car in front of him. Rush in traffic is brilliant. Rush gets down the low line. Bailey hasn't got enough engine, or has he? And it's got the back slammed. He slams it on Rush. Rush pushes him up, but Bailey grabs it. And Bill Bailey from the United States just gets Gary Rush going across there. In trouble for Hunter. Anderson third in the 37 car. They're followed by Ackland Veal. Behind that, we've got Robert Farr. What about a great big round of applause? Some nice manoeuvring. Bill Bailey hanging in there in car number 2 for the race win. Gary Rush, a big drive up into second place. Third place, David Anderson in the 37 car. Race time looking up there outside the record to 2:01.29. 2:01.29. The win to Pennsylvania's Bill Bailey, USA car number 2. Second place for Castrol in Australia number 1, Gary Rush. Third place for Wagga Mobile Cranes in car number 37, David Anderson. Well, race time outside the 2:01.29. So there we go. Green flag aloft, another 10 up there. Darryl Nash still the owner of that 1:57.60 time for 10 laps off Premier Speedway. Let's watch that Coca-Cola board. 10 laps up, ready to go. And this will be interesting stuff. Pole sitter Kev McCallum in the 60 car from Ready Mix Brown. Ian Lewis outside of him. And I guess it looks pretty good off turn number 4. Watch him into the first turn. Have a look at Brooke Tatnall. Him and McDonald going for the high line there as they come off the second turn. They've gone around Wayne Barker and hard on the picks there. Brooke Tatnall gets the hole shot and he gets by McDonald. He moves up one, but the early race leader is Ian Lewis in the 11 car. Out there for Pennzoil and for NZ. Up into 3 they go. Pete Smith jumping underneath McCallum. He's second place. Pete Smith on the highway in from South Australia. McCallum third, but Brooke Tatnall's just about to offload him out of the second turn. And Brooke Tatnall from the back of the pack, and he's going for it. Johnson trying to go with him as well. We'll watch this one. Will Nash's record fold. They go off the second turn. Back straight action. The lead of the 11 car. He's up into turn number 3. Lewis goes around the 4th turn. Brooke Tatnall close Pete Smith, but Pete Smith got plenty of engine underneath the 8 car. Holding Brooke at bay at this early stage. Corner, Pete Smith a little untidy. Brooke pounces on it. They cross it up into turn number 3. Lewis is the one that's still going to run down. More under the McCallum this time. Here comes Johnson, Barker also, and Nathan. A slow starter in this particular heat. The race a little bit strung out, but that doesn't mean it's any less exciting. It's on for second place. That's where I see the challenge at the moment. And have a look at Tatnall. Here's a go off the second turn. But Smith just a little too long on the legs as he goes into turn 3. Lewis again, this time 3 remaining for heat number 2. What an exciting race. We've got Lewis clearing out this stage about 8 or 9 car lengths. Peter Smith from South Australia, the rookie sprint car driver, come up from speed cars last year. And Smith really driving a comfortable thing. At the moment, keeping Brooke Tatnall at bay. Brooke Tatnall on the outside of him. Cost him dearly that time. White flag for Lewis as he comes around. 1 to go. But have a look at Brooke Tatnall. He's standing on the 2 feet on the accelerator. Plenty of engine in that well-prepared car. Up the second turn. He tries for the slingshot. Smith covers him. Look up to 3. Here's the go for the chicken. Lewis wins it. And Peter Smith hangs off the second. Brooke Tatnall third. Bill Johnson, Wayne Barker. Then Nathan McDonald from Quad. Kev McCallum last but not least. And Lewis keeps the boot in the bucket just to make sure he got it there. Car 11 from Victoria for the win in that one. Let's have a look at the time. Almost identical. Just a tad slower actually to be picky. 2:01.70 against 2:01.29. The 8 car from South Australia second, and the 8 car from 8 car from Newton. Ian Lewis for the win in 8V from Victoria. We've got the all clear up here. Second place, car 8 from South Australia, Pete Smith. And third place, Brooke from New South Wales, also in car number 8 from that state. 2:01.70. And what did you think about that, Shane?
Hey, great drive there.
10 laps of racing up for grabs, this time with Freddie Edwards off the pole. Keep your eye on Lacey, the American Danny Smith and Max Dumsney. Dumsney and, of course, Smith have won the Classic before. And it's the Tongs and sheet metal car. Oh, the young man has been quite sick over the last 2 weeks, Dion Appleby, but no, they're not going to play the game. And we might see the protest flag. Protest flag maybe coming up for somebody just scanning the officials at the moment. We naughty doing that. What did you think about that one, Sunshine?
Not too sure what to make of that. Whether
neither am I.
We've seen a little bit of trouble going on back further down the field with a car coming up on the grass pretty quickly is what I could make of it.
Oops, so what are we going to do? Rose at plate restart, no black flag. Maybe Stokes do after the event. Let's go for it again. This is heat 3. And he's done it again. Dion Appleby, nice start, perfect pole shot. Out of turn 2, heads up. Sprint car racing in the league here tonight. At Premier Speed, go down to turn 3. Harrell running second. Freddie Edwards hanging in there on the highlight. Bob Tugs got underneath him. And the world at this stage. Well, Freddie's up the back, hanging on, holding his line. The man that matches the 33 car. It is Dion Appleby from Tasmania. Harrell running second. Tugs third. Lacey fourth. Dumsney in 5th. And Danny Smith sitting behind him in 6th place. The battle going on for position number 4 as they come around. Have a look at Dumsney. He's way behind Tugs now. And I'll tell you what, Brett Lacey's not giving out without one big struggle. Brett Lacey sitting back there. Danny Smith now tackling him. The two of them racing into the 3rd turn as the double 3 car. Our race leader has 6 remaining in this 10-lap third of the 93 Classic. Brought us with the compliments of the Bonham Sawmills at Barham in New South Wales. Past us again, car number 3-3. Double 3. Dion Appleby, as I mentioned earlier, the chicken box. Not allowing him to race in the final there as we see a change in the 3rd place. Max Dumsney underneath Bob Tunks down the back chute. Max Appleby, 2nd place. Harrower, 3rd place. Dumsney, 4th place. We've got Bob Tunks. Behind that, Brett Lacey, then Dad. Further back, we've got Freddie Edwards in the double 5 car. About to be lapped. Double 3 car coming around. Have a look at Les Harrower doing it a big one here tonight. And we watch Appleby running up off the 2nd turn. Round Edwards up into turn number 3. Buries that big right Goodyear, right rear into the sodden granite. Watch it here with 1 to go. This will be an interesting one. Here comes Dumsney. Dumsney gassing it up big time in the Valvoline car. The checkered flag's out. There's no doubt about it. Dion Appleby that one. But we'll watch it for 2nd. And Dubs behind Les Harrower. Harrower 2nd in the double 8 car. Dumsney 3rd in Victoria car 5. And I think we've got Bob Tunks just a further back in that one. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. I thought that was some great racing in that one, and especially for Dion Appleby. Straight back after the sick bed deal. 2:04 neat for the time. 2:04 neat. 33 Tasmania first. Dion Appleby 2nd. Double 8 car from Victoria. Big drive by Les Harrow, and 3rd place to Max Dumsney. What does he boys drive? Grant 2. Alan Barley off 3. Phil Middleton off 4. Jamie Cobby off 5. George Tatnell off 6. And Gary Brazier off position 7.
Ian, just a quick point of interest. Les Harrow's member back when he came home 2nd to Jimmy Seals in 1978. So that would have won one of days of hole when Les was right at his peak.
Yeah, that'd be Les's last. We should explain about Les Harrow in the double 8 car. He took a sabbatical away from racing for just over a decade, and as Stuart rightly points out, 2nd in the Classic behind Jim Sills. A happy moment for him, and maybe tonight, maybe that inspiration is giving him a big shot in the arm tonight. He's been well overdue a big win, and maybe he's got an opportunity to do that this evening. We're going into heat number 4 very quickly. Winners so heat races. Bill Bailey from the Unites in the first one. Ian Lewis from Victoria in the 2nd. Tasmania's Dion Appleby in the 3rd. And we're going into heat number 1. Race will be interesting from the back. Again, we've got some across-the-board field in this one. Not seen Grant Tunks race this season in the double 5 car, the Federal Mogul entry. I understand he comes down with good credentials from that 2nd-generation racer. And Phil Middleton has been putting into some really good laps this season. Alan Barley is always the surprise package at times, but Georgie Tatnell knows his way around. The young guy beside him in the 16 car is Jamie Cobby. He's been running very, very hot this season. And of course, the young man at the back needs no introduction. Second in the Quid Championship, 8 fast time qualifying, and impressed us a lot. It's Gary Brazier. Ready for a start, still up 157. We'll watch him this time. Yes is the word, and Grant Tuck starts out this one. And it's gentlemen, take your piss. Cars running in all sorts of direction, but the boss of the watch said it's okay. Let's go racing. Grant Tuck's middle in second. Have a look at Brazier. He's quickly up in. Thanks for middle and back to third. The fourth place we've got Barley. He's followed by Cobby. He's followed by George Tatnell. But Brazier jumps into the lead. He's now the race leader. On second turn, 20-year-old Gary Brazier from New South Wales up into turn number 3. And is really showing him how a fast pair of heels can travel. 1-2 turn action. We've got Jamie Cobby now riding the high line. Got problems further back of the patch. We've got Grant Tucks running second behind Brazier at the moment. He running third. Have a look at George Tatnell. He's starting to come on strong now. He's the so I can see those minors changing before the race is done. Who is going to catch Gary Brazier? He's really got the thing going. The hot ticket in the 21 car from New South Wales. He's down the back straight. This time around there'll be 4 remaining for Brazier. Tell you, it's almost half a lap separating first from second. This is devastating. Brazier off the second turn. Tux goes into turn number in second place. That's how what the difference between that. Middleton's turn of the round. Middleton's turn of the round. Beautifully back on the racetrack as Brazier comes around to lap him. Only unbelievable passing flag be required here. Battle for the minors. Tuck still hanging on quite respectably in second place. 2 to go. 1.5 for Gary Brazier. He goes into turn number 3. They told me this was the slug, this engine. I'll tell you, this is an absolute pearler. 1 to go for Gary Brazier. He goes up into turn number 2. Half a lap to go. Checkered flag. Battle for the wheel banging, all sorts of stuff together. And here comes Brazier around. He takes heat number 3 by daylight. Grant Tucks. George Tatnell up for third. Grant Tucks second. Tatnell third. Fourth home. Barley fifth home in Cobby. And I think for that driving it in first place, what about a great big applause for 20-year-old Gary Brazier. Come on, put it together for him round the back chute. John Cobby, down to you. Big drop. John, we've got you down there. No, John is not going to talk to us at the moment. No, he's back with us. Hey, John.
Thank you, Dean. I presume you just crossed down to me. A little hard to pick it up down here. Track's a good run there. The track just going off. Some of the drivers experiencing looseness problems. The rear end of the car's not getting the ultimate traction down. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of soul searching when these drivers, the teams get these vehicles back in the pit area, trying to tighten them up a little bit. Very loose indeed towards the end of round number 1 of the heats.
And interesting comment. Little problem there with the track. They might have to give it a big cut, you think, Shane?
I've noticed it starting to develop a distinct black line going slick through the lower part of the track, so no doubt there'll be some work going on there in the near future.
They put a bit of live. Lewis out there for Wes Fridge. Penzor we mentioned. He'll sit beside Butch Hunter, who's out there for Graham Spargo Sport, the 73 car. And the second row will be made up of car number 8 from South Australia. There he is, Pete Smith, the highway in. Down the Anzac, it is Anzac Highway towards Glenelg. Go in and say hi to Pete next time you're over there. He'd be pleased to see you. Pete Smith, of course, a big step out of speed cars into sprint cars this season. Ken, Victorian champion 2 years ago, runner-up after that. And, of course, here tonight was a late starter in 92-93. This is only about his 4th or 5th show, I think. And the next row, of course, Nathan McDonald, all the way down from Bundaberg. Haven't seen the best of him tonight, and he will like a pineapple. He will come on strong as the night goes by. I don't mean that flippantly either, Stuart. You may laugh. Racing, Lewis jumps into the lead of the 11th car. Smith into second place. Have a look at McDonald. Nice start this time. And as I mentioned, this year got some top qualities from Queensland. How he lines up this time. A little bit of toing and throwing at the back of the pack. Cars going every which way. But the leader is Lewis. McDonald coming underneath. And he's got their trouble. Almost Veal cooking it and has stopped it right on the pole. They're going to have to go to caution. And Ken Veal will not be on everybody's birthday card list in the stewards box right at this particular moment. Unfortunate save, big save. I thought he was going to go upside, downside, and he saved it from that. He's got up on the infield, gassed it, and probably thought, gee, I might be giving it a bit too much, and got off it and stalled it. Hey, big effort.
Hey, great save there by Ken Veal. I thought it was all over. And boy, he got it back again, but unfortunately was unable to keep the mobile machine race and brought down the yellow light.
Second lap of racing had happened on Shane. They'll be going Indian 5. I think we're just trying to scan, sneakily and officially, of course, we're trying to scan the race control at the moment. So it'll be Lewis, Nathan McDonald. Now, hang on, I'm going to have to ask that question because I maybe not for one clear lap.
Not too sure on that. We did see Nathan McDonald did come over the line in second position. Here we do have to take it into consideration. The yellow light was already on before they come over the line.
And David McCrabb down on the circuit. He's the clerk of the course. We're having a look. Here we go, Mr. Lewis. And Pete Smith going up to number 2 as we suspected. And of course what we are suspecting is that there was not one clear lap of racing. We're not denying for a moment that that Nathan McDonald made the pass, but as Nathan would understand, and you've got to try it on, eh? I would, let me tell you. So we've got it out there. Ian Lewis, Peter Smith, Nathan McDonald, beyond that David, Robert Farr, Butch Hunter and Ken Veal, the person put down. And we're one lap playing on. No, Krabby's patrol steward spotted him on the job here. Who? And Butch Hunter going up in front of Robert Farr. Again, the same rule of thumb applies, that there was not clear lap of racing with those cars behind Robert Farr getting in front of Hunter. So everybody will accept that. 1 down, 9 to go in this one. Heat race number 5, the second block of heat races here tonight. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Welcome to the Classic for 93, the 21st running. We'll watch it this way, full on stuff. Have a look at Anderson. We'll have a bit of a go at this one here. Have a look at McDonald. A nice one off turn number 2. Nathan McDonald, a big move into the second place, but Anderson's on the boil now. And Anderson could be the quieter cheater this weekend. We'll watch the race lead around the second turn. It's Ian Lewis in car number 11. And another one turns it around. This time it is car number 8, Pete Smith. Pete Smith tidy up the second turn, a little out of character given his first heat race tonight, but he'll cop it sweet and get back in the action. In fact, I think Smith's got rear suspension problems. The car looks like it's sagging a bit. Maybe it's gone in the number 8 car. Can't tell at the moment. Race in the meantime. Have a look at Anderson. He's getting up there in the loose stuff on the highline. They're chasing Lewis. Nathan McDonald in between him at the moment. So it's Lewis, McDonald, 3rd place and 4th place. We've got Robert Farr. He's followed by Veal. Coming past us now, we have got Butch Hunter and the guy who had a problem. Only 2 shots ago, Smith from South Australia. 4 remaining. We'll make that 3 next time around for Lewis. He's out in front and driving very well. Lewis, a veteran of some over 20 years of speedway racing, started in tin tops in the 60s and ever since. Started racing, in fact, at 16 years of age. The flag being portrayed for these guys. Lewis on the trot, up on the high line. They've got together here. Lewis just went around them like there's no tomorrow. White flag for Ian Lewis. He comes off the turn now, gasses it up, goes by. Here comes McDonald. Hunter in the way, but he gets underneath him. Butch holding his line there. Here comes David Anderson, but the checkered flag goes on car number 11 from Victoria. Ian Lewis for the win. Comes around this time. McDonald second across the line. Look at Anderson. On number 4. Good one there. No race time because of the stoppage. 11 Victoria, the race winner. You can put your hands together for him. A big drive from Ian Lewis. Have had problems with the engine of the car. Looks like they've got it right when it matters. The classic time. Coming to the grandstand. Give Ian Lewis a great big round of applause as he comes around in the 11 car out there for NZ and also for Pennzoil. Nathan McDonald, the 32 car. He come in position number two. And David Anderson from Victoria in car number 37 in third place. So all sorts of strange stuff happening, and the action, you can see the pressure's really on. The track, again, interesting. The guys... Kev McCallum off 2, Bill Bailey off 3, Phil Johnson off 4, Gary Rush off 5, off 6 will be Wayne Bunker, and off 7 will be Brooke Tatnell. Now, I would understand that way it's to go. Rush will line up behind USA 2 as he sits. He does appear to be doing that. So Brooke Tatnell's O Lonesome Me at the back of the pack. And, of course, the misfortune coming, the man who was to fill position number 5 was, in fact, Phil March. They have ventilated an engine, or at least melted down a whole bunch of pistons, and that's unfortunate for him. He will take further part in tonight. Hopefully we will see him back tomorrow evening. In fact, I do believe they may be going off to do an engine change, so we'll wait and see. And John Cobby, I'm sure, will bring us up to speed on that one. Rush going off 5, replacing Phil March. Off 6 is Bunker, 7 is Brooke Tatnell. The front 2 rows made up of Ackland and McCallum. The second row made up of Bailey and Johnson. The third row, Rush and Bunk. Brooke Tatnell off the rear of the pack. Still that record up for grabs at 1:57.60. They come around. This is heat number 6. We'll watch the start. Pretty even as they come around. If anything, Rush had a good look underneath Bill Bailey, and have a look at this. She's going from McCallum on the outside, but Rush has got it covered at the moment, or he's been covered, it's more to the point. But what he can do off turn number 4, Gary Rush. 7 times winner of this race, hits the lead. He's the 10 times national champion. Johnson in trouble. Phil Johnson retiring to the infield in the Truck Traders number 6 car. Cannot begin to understand what the problem. John Cobby will be hot on the trail of that one, but it's the Master Blaster out in front at the moment. Rush from Sydney, New South Wales, comes around for Castrol. Out of turn number 2, the action is, and again, he's running away with it. This will be interesting to see what the record goes. Bailey running second from America. Brooke Tatnell up into third. Interesting battle looming there. Further back, we have got car number 60, Ken McCallum. Then Chris Ackland. Rush on a merry. Have a look at this. He is really thriving on this one. I reckon he'd have a bit of a soft tyre on the right moment. Be looking to keep that in hither as he comes around into turn number 3. The battle for second looming on. And at the moment, Bill Bailey looks like he is holding his own against Brooke Tatnell. And Bill Bailey running the mid-track line here at Speedway as he runs around the 1-2 turn. Rush again, comes off turn number 4. This time with 3 remaining on the Coke scoreboard for the 93 Bonham Sawmills. And we've got drama off the second turn and caution on the racetrack. Well, this makes it for interest. Bunker and McCallum have gotten together off the second turn. I didn't see it. Maybe Shane Maloney could comment on that one. We'll get John Cobby very quickly too to comment on the problems and the woes for Phil Johnson. How did you see that, or didn't you?
Oh, only last part of the incident, Ian, where
they were waltzing.
Where the waltz was well in progress, where we see Wayne Bunker and Kevin McCallum grass on the back straight.
Okay, so caution down. 4 go back up onto the board. 4 complete laps of racing with Gary Rush very much in command here. The Castrol number 1 car running second on the island at the moment is the number 2 car of Bill Bailey from the United States. Bill comes from Grove City in Pennsylvania, but pressing him hard from San Susie, New South Wales, is Brooke Tatnell in car number 8. We'll wait and see what they're going to do this time. Brooke Tatnell didn't seem to be handling the conditions as well as Bailey was. Bailey seemed to be very at home on this slicker type surface.
Bill Bailey's very at home on this slicker type surface as we see at this time. Of course, we've seen Brooke Tatnell previously on a slick surface, and boy oh boy, if we remember back not so many weeks ago to Toowoomba, to the quit round, and Brooke Tatnell come off the rear of the field, and in one of the best sprint car drives I've ever seen, come up to take out second placing. So Brooke Tatnell knows about slick tracks.
Fair to say though, in a similar circumstance, didn't handle it quite as well at Archerfield until Gary Rozier obviously won the race, and I'd take nothing away from Brooke, but Gary Braden to have his measure of field.
Unfortunately, I had to come home before Archerfield.
That I'm sorry,
but,
mate.
Yeah,
well,
we
then
see
I'll make that this was the case. Rush, of course, gasses it down into turn number 3. They've gone green. Hey, what a start. And Brooke Tatnall goes past Bailey. Brooke Tatnall up to second place now. That shot me down in flames. And it's now Gary Rush, Brooke Tatnall, Bill Bailey. Next we've got the 27 car of Wayner. Then Ackman come up at the back. 0.68, Stewie, unofficial. On a race time there, we've lost the record. We thought Rush might have got close to it. White flag for Rush next time around. 1.5 laps remaining. Rush into turn 3. Out there on the Castrol machine. He comes off turn number 4. 1 to go for Gary. It comes by now. 1 to go for Brooke Tatnall and 1 for Bill Bailey. I'll be surprised if it doesn't end this way. There will be no race time, but definitely one Australian that's coming up to take the gold, and the glory, and does so. Brooke Tatnall second. Car 8 from New South Wales and car 2 from the United States. What about that awesome display by Gary Rush? I think the least you can do for Gary Rush at the moment is reward him with a great big wave of the cap in the program. Put your hands together. No race time, but unofficially 11.68 on one of his Dotsy Does. Rush just doing it nicely. And of course the next one we're looking for is to go to John Cobby. Out of the infield as soon as we can grab his attention, wait for some engines to shut down. And to tell us what the story is with Phil Johnson.
I asked Phil what the problem was. You may have seen the car just seemed to almost bicycle, which is hard to come to grips with when you consider that the track's pretty slick out. He simply pointed to the engine. Now let's hope when the team lift the bonnet that it isn't as terminal as it may appear, but Phil simply pointed towards the engine. Fingers crossed, and let's hope, as I say, that it isn't terminal for the Bill Barrows-owned car.
All right, thanks, John. We'll be looking.
Stuart Owen,
Yes, sir.
if there's a chance of this record going tonight, do you think this could be the heat to do it?
Well, yes. As I said before, the horsepower's there, Ian. I was watching with interest the heat before, but, well, we saw what happened. That stopped. But when you've got the calibre of the drivers here, yes. The track, I think, actually built for speed, and I think the drivers in if they've got tyres on.
Okay, well, the track certainly a little glazed, but let me tell you, they've all picked the hot ticket. I would have thought, past tense we're talking here, I would have thought if we on the distance, flag to flag in the last one, I would have been interested to see what Rush's time exactly was, because everybody seemed to be going awfully fast. We'll wait and see what books are rewritten after this one. 157.60 is up on the board still. Daryl Nash is still the caretaker at that particular time. At the 92 Easter Trail was where it all happened. It was the night we got rained out in the feature. The Phil March unfortunately didn't get to lead off on the pole, but that's motor racing. We'll watch this one, the 255s off the front. We've got Edwards and Tunks leading him off there, and Father Tunks off the second row. George Tatnell back on the third row. Phil Middleton's in there, Max Dumsney and Brett Lacey. This will be interesting. They're just rolling around nicely, trying to be sitting up like little school persons at the moment in front of the chief steward, because they've got to impress him. But let me tell you, it almost comes to the ankle kicking deal off turn number 3. We'll watch them this time. A couple of wily old foxes in this one. Senior sits of Major League Sprint Car Racing running in the second and the third row. I named Bob Tunks and George Tatnell. David McCrabb, I think, has got to change the first 2 over. I think the discretion is, because I've got it down here at the moment as New South Wales 55. Thanks for we've decided that one. Have a look at this. Gentlemen, change your partners. Lovely. Bit of progressive waltz. Now we're all happy. I thought I was reading upside down for a moment. Now we've got it right. Grant Tunks off 1. Off second 2, Freddie Edwards. Second row made up of Middleton and Bob Tunks. George Tatnell and Brett Lacey off the third row. Max Dumsney running off the back. We've got 10 up on the board. Nash's record 157.60 still stands. And we'll wait and see what happens. Wilder. Grant Tunks the leader. Middleton, nice dash. No, sir. Not what we're going to play this time. No start, no start. Don't all get excited. Oh. Grant Tunks getting the strap for that one. The steward saying he didn't do it right. The obligation of the pole-sitting car is to bring the field around in rows of 2 to that white line off turn number 4. It's called the Knoxville line simply because it was first introduced to the best of our knowledge at the Knoxville Raceway in the United States out in the Midwest. So for want of a better term, you can call it the start line, the Knoxville line. Call it anything you like, but late for dead down there for a purpose. And let me tell you, the guys have got to come around in the orderly rows of 2 for their initial start. You will notice that for the restart, Gary Rush had the foot firmly in the bucket down the back straight, and he was well on his way at happening. Okay, let's have another go at it. This is Heat 7. Heat 8 to follow this one very shortly. Watch Grant Tunks this time. He'll be taking nicely. Yes, I think it's a good start. And have a look at this, Freddie Edwards. Gasses it up big time. Go, Freddie. Midnight, he's got the lead, but have a look at this. Bob Tunks rounds up Junior, and Middleton turns it around, and it falls over. Solid red light drama. Big complete restart at this stage in time. Poor old Phil come around. Shane, what would you describe? That's one of my soft rolls.
Yeah, well, it might have been softer than the one I described as soft earlier that sort of broke a case to my knowledge. Bad luck there for Phil Middleton, who's been having, as we've mentioned earlier, a great season. We can only hope that Phil has only sustained minor damage at this stage. Of course, the red light comes. There's still 10 laps up on the board, so we'll maybe be able to see some great driving yet from Max Dumsney and George Tatnell, Brett Lacey, way down the back of the field there.
The ever-attentive crash crew and the paramedics attending to Phil Middleton on turn number 3. We have a solid red light. Crews will be enabled once the car stops. Here they come. Out to service their particular vehicles, especially Brett Lacey wanting to check things. There was a bit of a brush with Phil as he was sort of looking at which way. They're toiling the car at the moment. And, of course, his team will be very keen to get over there and check out the damage. Phil just decamping. We're just watching. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. There's Phil out the car. He's a guy who impressed us this season with progress in racing, and he's done it mostly here at Premier Speedway. And now we'll keep our fingers crossed for him, Shane, that he right rocket is not too badly wounded.
Certainly no cheap parts coming in sprint cars, although we see that, like at this, from our vantage point at least, no major damage as far as the wing's concerned. We can only hope that the suspension and so forth, bar stops and thereabouts in the car aren't too badly damaged.
There's some talented people in Warrnambool who could help him panelling, I'm sure, and get it looking pretty before tomorrow night.
There'd be absolutely no shortage of talent amongst sprint car fans, and
a hot rod to a sprint car. Tell us about it. How did he go? No good. Don't want to know about it. I'll talk to Jono later. I'm just trying to bring you up. I'm sorry about all this. We're just trying to bring you up to speed with all the... But unfortunately, I'm doing a Ron Blaskett and Jerry G act here at the moment that I'm doing the quacker, but the dummy's not speaking for me over here. But never mind, that'll all work its way out as the night goes by. We're going back for a complete restart in heat number 7, and it appears with the exclusion of car number 12 from Phil Middleton bringing down a solid red light on the turn number 3. And for a problem, I'm really not too sure, looked it in too much or whatever, but only Phil will be able to tell us that, and John will possibly bring us up to speed with that one. Rows of 2 with the exclusion of 2 at the moment. So this makes it nice and interesting because George Tatnell now moves up to the second row. He originally was to start off. We'll see what happens this time. And scraggly towards the start. We've got the green light on at this particular stage in time, and George Tatnell. Oh no! George would be out there saying, "I just did a great job." Now what's going on here? A little bit scraggly, said I. Coming there. Stewart was just making the comment. What did you see out there? 55 was what?
Well, 55, Ian, didn't seem to be very straight and didn't seem to have the foot in the bucket quick enough for the rest of the... That might be a funny way of putting it, but usually it's the other way around. There we have to get going pronto, but I thought the black car was very sluggish getting away off that line.
Okay, well, interesting observation, and a man who attends church regularly wouldn't tell a fib. We've got him under control. We'll have to take that word as gospel. We'll go up to turn number 3, the Federal Mogul car of Grant Tunks on the pole. Freddie Edwards off 2. Second row, George Tatnell, Bob Tunks, and go, Shane, speak.
I think at this stage we see the board coming out, and I believe it could be 4 Grants as we see at this present time. Grant Tunks, slap on the wrist, brings George Tatnell up to position number 1.
Yeah, well, it brings him up to position number 1, and it's got Bob off 2, Bob Tunks off 2. I kind of don't understand this entirely because I thought Edwards would have had to run off position at number 2, but George Tatnell said, look, I don't care who runs off 2, I'm away with this one. And George Tatnell making a quick job of it. He's run away. Dumsney's jumped out from the back of the pack. He's up to turn number 3. Between him and George Tatnell is Bob Tunks in the 54 car. And meanwhile, we keep them all. Here's Brady of the 21 car. Dumsney on the line. Whoa, drama happening everywhere here. Bags being shut, gates getting shut. Bob Tunks get the charge of the Light Brigade. And Max Dumsney now up in the second spot. So it's Max Dumsney, the winner of the 92 Classic. He's up in the second. Brett Lacey trying to forge his way through into third. And Bob Tunks back to 4th place. It's George Tatnell, Max Dumsney. Behind that is Brett Lacey. Then there's Bob Tunks. From his Freddie Edwards in the 55 car. And the other 55 car, that's Mogul entry off Grants at the back of the pack. George Tatnell now. 6 remaining according to the scoreboard in the bottom sawmill, heat number 7 of the 93 Classic, the 21st running of the event. And have a look at Dumsney's coming on quickly here. They go down into turn number 1. It's honesty hour for these guys. Dumsney wanting to run up high on the second. George Tatnell wanting to get in. Have a look at Dumsney. They come around the 3-4 turn. And Dumsney gets by off turn number 4. And drama. They spin. Freddie Edwards, he's brought down the caution, and just when you're safe to go back in the kitchen, Grandma turns up the fire. What about this deal?
Hey, the fire truly turned up in Max Dumsney's car, gone up high, noticed him in the early laps, gone up, found a different line. George Tatnell staying down low, trying the shortest route round, which is always George's way of doing things. Max Dumsney gone up high, found out where to go, just when, as you say, when they really applied, done the job. Of course, we go back one full racing lap, which relegates Max back to second position, as we see on the racing track at this time.
I think George has been going through his head at the moment. He knows Max can pull this outside deal. Would he be looking to get up there, or has he got the setup? What's the story?
Well, let hit box and dice, because, as you say, the setup might be there for a low track running car. The difference between the low track and the high track is fairly different here. It's a lot to do with timber, what sort of tyre you're running. Your tyre mightn't be suited running up high in the cooler dirt. You might be looking for working down on the low line.
Edwards out there for Penwright, the 55 car from Victoria now tacks onto the field at the back of the pack. He'd be doing a bit of soul searching at the moment, maybe just having to roll on, roll off a little more gracefully turn. Have some respect for the racetrack as they go into 3 with George Tatnell in the lead. He dictates the pace, gasses it up big time. Brett Lacey sitting behind Max Dumsney. We'll see if Dumsney can do it again. Have a look, up he goes, up into that high line again, comes off the second turn, and we'll watch him into turn 3, closing on George Tatnell. 5 remaining in this one, make it 4 this time round past the post, and I'll tell you what, the pressure's going to be on. Dumsney goes down low. That would be a surprise for the constant. And have a look at this, the bag slam. Dubsney up high. And George would hear the rear gears on the number 5 Valvoline car. He goes by him again. Dubsney putting on a top level show. Can he stay there? He comes out the second turn. So it's 5 on 5 at the moment with heads up. Major League Sprint Car Racing here at Premier Speedway. They come around with 2 to go. Max Dubsney for Valvoline. George Tandle for Winfield. Brett Lacey up into 3rd place. Bob Tunks in 4th spot. Grant Tunks behind him and Freddie Edwards. 1 to go. There's the white flag. And I'll tell you what, the Dubsney fans will be getting to their feet now. They go around off the turn. Have a look at Dubsney opening up the lead. He goes into turn number 3. Max Dubsney for Valvoline takes out heat numbers of the Bonham Sawmill 93 Classic. George Tatnell 2nd. Brett Lacey across the line 3rd. And Freddie cooks it again just to celebrate the occasion down on the 1-2 turn. Grant Tunks and Bob Tunks in that order. The other place getters. 5 from Victoria. Can give him a round of applause. What about Max Dubsney? The brave stuff on the end. Come on to the terraces. Really put your hands together as he comes up the back chute. Maybe he's on the road to back-to-back wins.
Hey, there'd be nothing like it. Back-to-back classic wins for Max Dubsney. Great drive there after having to be relegated back to 2nd place after that restart was called on lap number 5. 5 to go was where Max Dubsney was relegated back. As we see the all clear board come up. Of course, there was no time for that.
Far Bill Bailey in the 1st, Ian Lewis in the 2nd, Dion Appleby in the 3rd, Gary Brazier 4th, Ian Lewis again in the 5th, Gary Rush in the 6th, in the 7th maxed up, and yet to be decided. Yet to be decided in heat number 8. We're bringing updates, point scores going into this round of heats. We had Gary Rush on top of the leaderboard from Gary Brazier, Brooke Tatnall, Max Dubsney, David Anderson, George Tatnall, Nathan McDonald, Danny Smith, Peter Smith, Bill Bailey, Wayne Bunker, Les Harrell, Brett Lacey, Jamie Cobby, Ian Lewis, Dion Appleby, Phil March, Farr, Grant Tunks, Phil Middleton, Phil Johnson, Bob Tunks, Alan Bailey, Ken Veal, Chris Ackland, Kev McElwoods, Jerry Brown, and Butch Hunter at the back of the pack. Rosa 2's the call up there again, and maybe one more time we get a shot at that Darryl Nash record of 1:57.60 for the 10 laps. Pace car coming off Rosa 2 with the Tasmanian Tong Sheet medal entry. Dion Appleby back after a big week of illness, and at Dion's age, I think he's about 26. He, in fact, contracted chicken pox and was a very sick little camper last week, and I'm glad to see that he's back on top tonight. Let's wish them all well on. Watch the pack. This one, Jerry Brown has nominated to go off the pack for this one. Jerry Brown has nominated to go off the back, and it's Barley jumping into the lead. Have a look at this with the charge of the Light Brigade. A lot of them bunching up, down into the back chute, into 3, the big charger at the moment, the 16 car of Jamie Cobby, and the one who's finding his handling going very rough at the moment. Here's that look of drama. Harrow rides the pickets. Harrow in trouble. He's broken the front end and is going to bring down caution. Oh, a big ride up on the pickets going in there, and I thought he was going to pull it down, but you can see the front end, the front axle appears to be bent in the double 8 car from Bendigo after running so strongly. Mightn't be as severe as it looks, Shane. I don't know whether you can make out what the story is there. John Cobby will be looking for them to come infield and find out what the story is. Car crush coming our way too. Kenny Koala will be back in the not too far distance tonight. Indian File, only one clear lap down. What do you think about the front end?
I dare say we'll be possibly able to see a restart in the number 88 Les Harrower car. After
just jammed on lock or something?
Just jammed in there, and well, from the quick view through the glasses, we could see a restart there from Les Harrower. Very, very lucky to keep the race car in the general direction. He was supposed to be travelling after his ride on the wall.
Yeah, I saw some of the faces of the people on the terrace. Hi to everybody on the terrace tonight. Hope you're enjoying your racing. And I thought they go, here we go again. We're going to see the bottom end of Les's car, whether he's washed it or not. And wasn't the big job for Les. There he goes, back on the show. Big save. What about it? Give him a round of applause. He comes around, encouraging him a little bit. Les Harrower, ladies and gentlemen. Albeit there's a little bit of a problem there with that front end. And he may elect not to. Yeah, okay. Well, I think that's a wise decision. Something is is astray. Again, third place Brittle, stage no answer. The two of them cross flags again, straight. The battle of the lubricants. They go into three. Here's Rush down on the bottom line. They are going for this one, Heather and Toms. And please, if you know the answer to this race, you'll know it's 10 numbers. The two of them gassing off the second turn. In deep for three. He's got the drive off turn number 4. Dubsney comes back at him again. Lewis in trouble now. Have a look at this. Rush dives an eye. He comes up on top of Lewis there. And the two of them go for it again in turn 3. What a race. Get up off your seat. Wave them on. Don't bring the caution down. Get off the track if you've got a problem. The race leader. Oh, Lewis in serious trouble in the Olympic. The X-Lock has expired. Rush coming back at Dumsney. It's the tyre wear wars. Lewis has problem there, but there's a lot of steam or smoke coming out of there. He will be overseen by the crash crew. Leader coming off turn number 4. Rush on the low line again. See in front of the two of them. Have a look at this. The three of them have been national champions. It's close company into turn number 3. The gas again. George Tantle's in front of him this time in car number 5. This shows you the calibre of the pace. Dubsney goes up on the high line. He gasses it off turn 2. There is 3 laps remaining in this one. Gary Rush is on again. He's on the low line. He gasses it. I don't care who runs this race, first, second or whatever. If you don't get up and really applaudise at the end of the day, you ain't worth nothing. We'll come off turn number 4. Rush now getting off the pace at 10. The race is a blistering pace. Dubsney on the high line. Rush is back on the later again. He's off the second turn. Here's the white flag. There's one to go after this one. They come around. They charge into turn number 1. Dubsney on the high line. Rush tagging the knows he's third. I think it's Brooke Tendall way back there. Brazier behind that. And there's the checkered flag. Dubsney second. Coming around in third place now. Here's Brooke Tendall in the 8 car. We have got the 21 car of Gary Brazier behind him. Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your undivided attention? Why don't you just all stand up from where you are at the moment and just absolutely bring the house down for the winner, Maxty, and for the second place racer, Gary Rush. Come on, get right into it. Give him a flag and send Rushy with him. Rush acknowledging Dumsney as he comes on by in great sportsmanship. Come on in the terrace. Give him a standing ovation. Come on, get up off your seats and do it. Oh, what a race. So I'll tell you, I don't care what it costs you to be here. And how much it costs you to get in. But let this bloke know what a great race he done for Gary Rush. Oh, let me tell you, big night. Huge. Come on, give it to him again as he comes on by. And what about on the main straight as he coming towards you, ladies and gentlemen? Come on, really, put your hands together. And I think this is pretty appropriate to be played right about now. I'll tell you what, Shay Maloney, I don't think I could have been any entertained by seeing 4 taxi cabs sitting on a rank on a rainy day.
Hello, Gary. Back at Premier to do battle again tonight?
Yes, yes.
Big night in the office last night.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. I think the crowd liked it. I enjoyed where I was sitting from, and I know Max enjoyed it, and it was a good race.
Well, I reckon it was probably one of the best races I've ever seen at Premier.
A lot of people tell me that. No, well, you know, when the track's right, the drivers are right, and the crowd's right, sprint car racing, that's what you get right, you know.
The only problem is we don't see you here.
Well, that's no doing of mine. Sometimes the promotion don't want me here, but anyway, but we're always here for the Classic.
Yeah, well, now I'm sure after that last night, that was terrific. Now, how do you think you'll battle with him again tonight? Doesn't seem otherwise.
Well, it looks like, yeah, we're going to have to beat Max because he went very well last night. But, you know, there's still a couple of guys there that probably didn't have it right last night, but could be right tonight. So you can't just forget those guys. But it should be a good race, eh?
So we'll do it. We wish you the very best of luck. Thanks very much, Gary Rowe.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
No, I should borrow Bill Pat.
We go back right here. Jack Maggs. Jack's a man that's been around Premier Speedway, around many speedways for many years. It's great to see you, Jack.
Bill, I'll kill Bill Burrows when I get hold of him in a minute.
Oh, no, Bill's all right. Jack, you've many years you were Graham McCubbin and Gary Rush. You had the 2 cars days, very, very competitive.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to try and run 2 cars today, Bill. I think you might go broke doing it.
Well, you know, the plumbers is big money in plumbing.
Yeah, rewasher and taps, thanks Charlie Burley.
Well, it's very nice to see you here, Jack. You saw that race. What did you think of that?
Yeah, excellent race. Yeah, good race. Yeah, it's going to be a good one tonight too. Gary Rush.
You think Gary?
Yeah. Gary Rush.
We'll see later. It's good to see you. Thanks very much, Jack Maggs. Good, mate. How's it looking, Max?
Oh, not too bad, yeah. I think we're ready.
You had a very interesting night last night.
Yeah, it was a good race. Yeah, Gary and I had a real dice there for a while. It was thoroughly enjoyable.
Yes, looking forward to a similar one tonight?
Close, I hope. I'd like to be able to lead it a little easier. Yeah. But, yeah, that was good fun.
Can you improve on that a bit?
Improve on it?
Yeah.
As far as the race goes, I don't think so.
Oh, not as far as the race goes, but did you have any problems with the car?
No, the car was great.
Was it?
Yep. Yeah. Lap traffic was a little bit of a problem, but that's racing.
Yeah, found the track like that?
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah. I spoke to Melville halfway through the race and I said, this looks like we're going to have a good racetrack tonight. And sure was.
Certainly picked it right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we hope we have another good one tonight. We look forward to seeing you out there and wish you the best of luck.
No worries, thanks.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Okay, yep.
Bye.
So.
The Premier Speedway.
Thank you very much.
Before?
Yes, a number of times.
Have you?
Yes.
Enjoy it all?
Yeah, come.
Who's going to win?
Dumsley, perhaps.
Dumsey, perhaps. Okay, well, thank you very much. Excuse me, can I up your reading?
Yeah, sure.
Nice to see you at Premier Speedway.
Yeah, nice to be here.
Been here before?
Yeah, a few years in a row.
Yeah. And what are we reading on?
Just a thriller.
Oh, just a thriller?
Yeah.
Who do you think might win tonight?
Max Thompson.
You think Max?
I would think Rush. Yeah.
Could be an argument in the household tonight then. Thanks very much for your comments. Oh, yeah, the day off from work, is it? Yeah. Where are you from, boys?
Yeah, Warrnambool.
Where are you?
South Burren Beach. Come down here all the time.
And
a blue with the missus. Don't practice too hard though.
Oh, you're enjoying yourselves anyhow. That's right. Looks as though the missus might have cut some sandwiches for you too. Here are some gentlemen, seem as though they're enjoying themselves at Premier.
Yeah, mate, no worries.
Whereabouts from?
Geelong.
From Geelong.
He's from Werribee.
Werribee, mate. Come up here very much?
Every year.
Every year?
Same place we sit.
You wear the same shirt too?
That's the one, yeah. The brown one with the white hairs on it.
Yeah. He'll pull it off tonight, do you think?
Rushing. Yeah, no worries.
Okay, we hope you have a nice evening. Ladies, are you enjoying yourselves too?
Certainly are, yes.
Yeah, you look as though you're very relaxed.
Yes, very relaxed.
That's my wife.
Is it? Well, we won't hold that against you. Who do you think?
Dumsey.
Dumsley?
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
You think he will? Okay, we'll see later. Thanks very much. Well, we've been out in the pits. We've seen some big blokes out there. Some of those fellas that push the sprinters around and so on. But we've got, I think, the smallest supporter here tonight. I think this is the... how old is the little one?
3 weeks.
3 weeks old. Well, there you are. That's our youngest. And you're from?
I'm from Melbourne.
Melbourne, and my father's from Tasmania.
Launceston, Tasmania.
Launceston, and you're the grandfather.
I'm a new grandfather. He's a new father, and he's a new Sprintcar supporter.
Ah, well, there you are. We've got 3 generations of Sprintcar people. That's really nice, what we like to see. Give us a tip about tonight. Who do you reckon?
Oh, I reckon he's been holding back something from last night. He'll get there tonight.
Max Dumsney.
Max?
Got to be Max.
Okay, we won't ask the little one till later.
He's just a classic.
Who do you reckon?
Oh, Rashi, of course.
Rashi, of course.
She's been walking up. Mind you, Tasmanian.
Oh, yeah, he's going all right, Appleby. Yeah. Oh, yeah, don't knock him off. Yeah.
He had a bad run.
He did, yeah. He couldn't, he'd have to do better tonight. Gentlemen, are you enjoying yourself at Premier?
Of course.
Of course. Been here before?
8 years ago, yep.
8 years ago?
My first visit, yeah.
First time? Were you here last night?
No.
Didn't say, oh, you missed a good one.
Yes, Blue.
Whereabouts are you from?
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Yep.
Who do you think might pull it off?
Probably Dumsey or Rush.
Yeah.
Have to be. I fancy Brazier, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well,
thank you.
We'll see. Thanks very much. Bye.
If ever that song meant anything, it's certainly tonight, the final count for the final heat races right through to the night's 35-lap exciting 93, 21st running of the Burnham Sawmills Sprintcar Classic. Burnham Sawmills haven't been there for 21 years, but they've certainly given us the great support for 6 years. And we'll be talking to Gavin Rowe and also to a special guest we're welcoming back. Missed out on last year. And we do the presentations. I speak of Mr. Gus Mercurio. We come back from last night with our still around the deck. What a feature race. If you weren't here last night, let me tell you, oh gee, I hope you won Tats Lotto because you missed out on it big time down here otherwise. The feature race was a mind-boggling. Max Dumsney, free rush, lap after lap, absolutely blew us all away. In fact, if there's anything I do remember clearly about last night, it was that race. And it's said to be the greatest sprint car race ever. So we've got a task ahead of us tonight. We're going to have to do it bigger and better for you. We're going into race 19 with Victoria 55. Victoria 55, Freddie Edwards, the pole sitter on this one. Out of position number 2, Victoria 73. Ed Butch Hunter. Out of position number 3, Victoria car 28, Alan Barr. Out of position number 4, 54 from New South Wales in Bob Tunks. Out of position 5, Salia car number 8, Peter Smith. Out of position number 6, New South Wales car number 5, George Tatnell. Out of position 7, USA 7, 5 times classic winner, Danny Smith. And beside him, the Grand Champ himself is in Australia 1, Gary Rush, out of position number 8. The man who's won this race 7 times, 10 times national champion. And I think the word, or the term, Grand Champ fits him very nicely. Just placing those again. Freddie Edwards in the 55 Victoria car off 1. Butch Hunter off 2. Alan Barley off 3. Bob Tunks off 4. Peter Smith off 5. George Tatnell off 6. Danny Smith off 7 and Gary Rush 8. Now let me tell you how the point scores are rocking along as we go into tonight's racing. And of course the heats will be seeded according to the point score going in tonight. And let me tell you, the higher you are up on the point score, the further back in the heats you'll be seen. And fittingly, Rush on top of the leaderboard with 191 points going into tonight's final rounds. And of course, the feature is sitting 191 points. Yes, I was confused there for a minute. Max Dumsney is running second on 186. Brooke Tatnall on 175 is third. Gary Brazier on 170 is fourth. Danny Smith is fifth with 150. Sixth is Davison on 148. Seventh, Jamie Cobby on 143. Eighth is Nathan McDonald on 140. Ninth is George Tatnall on 131. And 10th is Brett Lacey with 123. 11th is Wayne Bunker on 100. 12th, Ian Lewis on 110. 12th is Peter Smith on 104. Then it goes Robert Farr, Bill Bailey, Les Harrower, Bob Tunks, Chris Ackland, Dion Appleby, Ken Veal, Alan Barley, Grant Tunks, Kevin McCallum, Phil Johnson, Butch Hunter, Phil March, who unfortunately is out for the night, blew a motor last night, and Jerry Brown, Phil Middleton and Fred Edwards in that order. Get you up to speed with those between this and the second heat. Couple of fast laps to set everybody out. Edwards in trouble off turn number 4, but out of harm's way. Joining us for the first time tonight, who didn't join us last night. And just ask somebody next year how good that feature race was, and they will make you go green with anxiety of not being here. But never mind. Let's enjoy what's about to come down tonight, and welcome back everybody who joined us last night. And some of the people, of course, have been on the road since Friday, went to Mount Gambier. Phil March, of course, winning Gambier in fine, and unfortunately last night though, the downturn with the engine on the number 3 car from South Australia detonating in a massive big way. Rows of 2 lined up with Rush running off. Danny Smith about to happen there. The white line on turn number 4 there to indicate to all the drivers they must come around in the ordinance of rows of 2 to that point in time for the race start. And Danny Smith, I'm really not sure what he is doing. Edwards must have nominated to go off the back. I'm suggesting no start on this one. We're pushing on the racetrack. Rush just wiping his visor. Butch Hunter. Excuse me, Butch. Thanks, Butch. I think Butch thought it was all coming his way. All of a sudden, racing his little heart out. 73 car for Graham Spargo Transport. Which of course from Melton in Victoria. Alan Barley for Huzzy Performer coming back onto the pole position. So it's now the 28 car. Apparently Fred Edwards has elected to run off the back of the field. That is his own election to do so in the 55 car. And Fred, a rookie I think from this year. And I appreciate the other reason maybe coming through to us now, Shane's just explaining a second push may have relegated him to the back of the field, so maybe he's not being Mr. Nice Guy after all. I don't mean that, Fred, having a joke. Okay, with Fred Edwards down the back by relegation, we do understand. We'll watch the front row, Barley and car number 70. Butch Hunter, keep your back, Marcus Tatnall's in there somewhere as well. And they're going racing this time. Watch them around the 1-2 turn, very sideways. George Tatnall looks like he might be getting some drive up on the high line, but it's Danny Smith that races him into turn number 3. Rush goes with him. Rush capitalising on the two of them, almost getting together. Makes up another place. The race leader, Barley, 54 car. Bob Tunks running second. Third in this race at the early stages, Hunter. Have a look at the go here between Smith and Rush. Old foes here from this particular event. Rush cutting it down finally, slamming the bag down there on Danny Smith off turn number 4 and doing a great job. Rush now up to position number 6, I think it is. Make that as he comes by. Make it 4 if you like. He comes off turn number 4 underneath from South Australia and dives it in nice and quick into turn 1-2. Rush now is on the charge. Look at Danny Smith. He's trying to get by Smith as well. Hunter at the moment in front of Rush. They're chasing Barley. Tunks running second. Rush now going for the big high line go. He's had to have 2 bites at the cherry. In the meantime, we've got Smith and Tatnall trying to find a way around. Rush now going for the dump. This is what we're used to. Each Gary Rush. He's up into third. Heat number 1 now as we see the race leader. It's car 8 looking up there now. I think it's 5 to go. I'll stand corrected. I've got a bit of a sun blind there at the moment. But they go off turn number 2. The white the yellow Huzzy Performance 28 car of Alan Barley's the leader. He comes up behind Freddie Edwards, who will go a lap down as he comes down on turn number 1. Edwards now just holding his line. Barley goes high. Bob Tunks chasing him. in the Federal Mogul entry. They're around 3-4 now. Tunk selecting to go low, but here comes the Castrol entry of Gary Rush. He's up there into the action now as they come around the bottom turn. It's still the 28 car that's looking good. White flag coming out, 1 to go for Barley. The battle up the second any moment. Rush trying to get around Edwards, does so on turn number 1. He's now chasing Tunks. Checkered flag about to come out for Barley. And Ken Rush still on the final turn. Barley for the win on the 9. And Tunks hangs on for second. Rush into third. He's followed home as they come around now by Butch Hunter behind that Pete Smith, Danny Smith and George Tatnell. Pete and Danny, of course, not related. What about putting your hands together? Nice one for Alan Barley from Victoria. Good drive there. Bob Tunks from New South Wales for Federal Mogul in second place, and Australia 1, Gary Rush for Cole into third place. And of course, Alan Barley out there for Huzzy Performance. Coming to the back straight, warm him up. He started the night 28 budget racer from Gippsland in Victoria. Comes across now. Put your hands together for him as he goes into pit row. Alan Barley from Bob Tunks from Gary Rush, just to get it right and outside the record. 2:08, I think it is. Stu, is it 2:08.94? And Victoria 19, Chris Ackland off the pole. Opposition number 2, New South Wales 55, Grant Tunks. Opposition 3, Victoria 21, BC. Opposition 4, New South Wales car number 3 in Robert Farr. Off position number 5, position 5, Victoria 5, Max Dumsney, and off 6, Vic 37, David Anderson. 10 up on the board there for heat number 10, event number 2 here tonight at Premier Speedway. That record time of Darrell's, maybe it'll go tonight, 1:57.60 it was, excuse me. 6 in this one, 6 quickies from the back again could come the action. Grant Tunks comes to us with quite a list of credibility from New South Wales. His first race here for the 92-93 season. We welcome all our interstate competitors tonight. And gassing it nicely, Chris Ackland got the jump beautifully. They go into turn number 1. And drama for Dubsney, almost tipped it upside down. Absolutely unbelievable. Go down there, he regains his composure and obviously no suspension damage. So the drama unfolds in the second heat. Anderson, the bowler in this one, he's up to position number 3. Ackland, the leader. Robert Farr for KBT. Overnight Express running second. David Anderson there. Brett Lacey moving up nicely in the Snee Chassis 21 car in 4th spot. They're followed by Dumsney and Grant Tunks back of the pack. Well, a strange call there for Dumsney in the early laps as we look at this one. Ackland's the one who's putting on the top show at the moment. He goes off the second turn, up into turn number 3. Action Jackson as they throw it in sideways. Around they come off 4, and it's still Ackland, but what close jump he's got now. Have a look at this. The freight train is emerging. Anderson on the go. Off the second turn, and some wheel banging as they go into 3. Anderson moving up into position number 2. Far back into 3. They're followed by Lacey and Dumsney sitting right behind them. Leader in 3, still Ackland, keeping a nice line, may not have the horsepower of the others, but running consistently the same groove all the way around. David Anderson looking for a way past him now. Here's the battle on for first place. They go up into the 3-4 turn. Off 4, they burn it big time coming past them now. But Ackland is holding Dumsney off holding Anderson off nicely. Dumsney time is trying to put some pressure on Brett Lacey, but Lacey's driving a top job down low. Here's Anderson for a look, and charging into number 1. And he forces Ackland a little wide, and we have a new race leader. It is now David Anderson of Mobile Cranes. He goes around the 3-4 turn. He's got 1 to go. He's timed it beautifully, Anderson. Off the second turn as he flies up there now. Up into turn number 3. Anderson about 7th on top of the leaderboard before tonight. And he takes out heat race number 10. Second across the line, Ackland, a big drive. Third is Robert Farr. 4th is Brett Lacey, followed by Max Dunn and Grant Tunks. And I think you ought to give a great big round of applause to car 37, David Anderson. A big one from the back row, taking out the second heat here tonight. Just looking at the time, 2:4:74. 37 Victoria car, David Anderson in first place. Second car number 19, Chris Ackland from Victoria. And third, number 3, from New South Wales in Robert Farr. Race time 2:74. Let's go straight to John Cobby.
Thank you very much, Ian. Wasn't David Anderson absolutely motoring across the terra firma in that one? Had the hot setup. I clocked him at 11.81 seconds.
Up the front. And into turn. Missing from the lineup is Dion Appleby in the double 3 car. We need a report on that one very quickly. We don't know what's happened there. But Barker moving right up very quickly to start off the pole position. Rob Tadnall going very, very close, or perhaps just over the pole line, and moving up into position number 3, but no nonsense with Brooke. He's right into it here. Barker the leader. The battle for second between Bill Bailey and Brooke. McCallum run 4th spot. Behind that we've got Jamie Cobby, Harry Brown at the back of the pack. Early days in a heat number 11. And the excitement grabbing here, Brooke Tatnall getting down very low. Bit of contact as they go on the back straight, as quick tag. Tatnall getting it up, lifting the frontals. But Bailey's sitting down comfortably in the number 2 Trostor chassis car. And at the moment, Wayne Barker's the guy they've got to run down. Barker looking nice. Comes off turn 4 in the Jet Fuels B.S. Stillwell Trucks entry from South Australia. And again, Tatnall having another look underneath Bill Bailey. The battle on for second place. We'll watch it with this one. 4 remaining in this one out of the 10 laps. And looking pretty well on, but a very, very close to record time effort. We've got Barker coming around now. He laps Jerry Brown. The passing flag being applied liberally. Here comes Brooke Tatnall again on the low line. Having Bill Bailey. The two of them going out the second turn. He gasses it up now. He gets underneath Jerry Brown. Brooke Tatnall goes with him as well. They've been left there in great form. We've got caution. Drama on the track. It's McCallum that spun around turns 1 and 2. This will be an interesting restart for this one, because there's certainly plenty of motor in the Winfield Racing number 8 car. It'll be interesting to see what the drag race is like and where, in fact, Wayne Bunker will go from. Wayne Bunker, incidentally, the only guy that has persisted with and had success, I may go on to add, wet sump style of engine. Pete Samuels and his crew, who put it all together, have done a mighty job. And Wayne, of course, the winner of the round here, the quit round here earlier in the year, the first one on the January 1, thanks, Stuart. And that was happening there. John Cobby just having a quick look. McCallum obviously sustaining some damage. Just have to excuse us for being a bit dopey at the moment. We're just having a little problem with the sun across towards there, but that'll recede, hopefully quicker as possible. How's the ball? A wonderful Warner ball. Gorgeous one day and pretty damn good the next. So have a lot of fun. Talk about the dumb act yesterday. We had a day in the pool, and I guess who got a little bit sun affected. 11:62 and 11:65. Stu, what are you telling me? Okay, 11:62 and 11:65 for Wayne Bunker. He'd be really pleased that he's recording those lap times. Thank you. 27:286:14. What's the restart on this one? Going racing very quickly. Classic Fever has struck Warrnambool again for the 21st time. Have a look at Brooke Tatnall. Down the road into turn number 3. He's giving it everything, hiking that left front wheel. This kid has got some talent. He's trying it on with Bill Bailey at the moment from Pennsylvania in the United States of America. They're both chasing Wayne Bunker. But let me tell you, Wayne Bunker certainly got their measure at the moment. Running down for this one. On the final lap of the thing, we'll watch the charge around the 3-4 turn. Bunker's going to take it out, and he's done so. In second place, Bill Bailey. Third across the line, we've got Brooke Tatnall. Fourth, Jamie Cobby out there for Jarvis. Ford in the 16 car. And Jerry Brown. Dramas for Kev McCallum striking the fence. What about for Wayne Bunker, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes around? A nice piece of racing there. And I think a little bit for the place getters as well, for Bill Bailey and for Brooke Tatnall, putting on a top show. I think this is winding up to be as good as last night. Coming in the stand, put it together for Wayne Bunker as he comes by. Oh, nice little effort. Mr. Wetsump, we should call him, quickly to John Cobby down in the infield report.
Yeah, the new McCullum, it looks like a bent steering arm, sleep bent front axle. They may get away with it. The front torsion bars, I think, have been affected as well, so the team could be pretty busy getting him out for the next heat race.
Oh,
Back
thanks.
to the commentary.
Thanks, John.
Bit of Kevin.
Yeah, sure was. It really playing for the Sheepshead there tonight.
You reckon?
Yeah, really well and truly.
He clipped you.
Yeah, I had the line through the corner. He just come through and got me on the way through.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's the way the racing is these days.
That's right. Yeah.
Get back out there for the next heat and show them up again.
That's the main thing.
No
All the
worries.
best of luck. Thanks, Kevin.
Phil Middleton off 1. South Australia 6. Phil Johnson off 2. Victoria 8. Ken Veal off 3. Victoria 88. Les Harrower off 4. Victoria 11. Ian Lewis off 5. Queensland 32. Nathan Arnold off 6. And Gary Brazier in the 21 car. On the 21 car will be running off the back of the pack. Vic 12 rolled on the side. Heat number 7 last night. You're so correct, Stuart. Victoria car number 12 had a little lay down, got a bit tidy, untidy around their show. It's great to see the boys back. He's put on the top show this year, Phil Middleton.
Phil Middleton really coming to the fore this season. Could not get refitted and operational again for last night. Had some problem with the front axle, the lack thereof I think it could have been. Great stuff to see the return this year of Phil Middleton, or tonight at least.
We've got Phil back and he's here and he's in the 12 car and I miss my tap dancing. Right, where are we? Look like a bunch of penguins up here, fair dinkum. That's another story. Okay, well, get your chin rests ready. This is going to this time. There's no doubt about it that the laps are hotting up. Heat number 12. A couple of them out there might a little bit of still a little bit of bite in that sun. I hope you've got some of that sun or a bit of mullet or something on you to protect it from the UV rays. Green flag in the air for the heat race number 12. And Stuart might some nice stuff about the cricket at some stage. Heat race number 12. Classic Night Fever, it's happening. Have a look at Harrow's makes contact there with Nathan McDonald, and both of them seem unaffected as they go their way. Gary Brazier, very high to the third turn, but the guy they've got to chase right here in Warrnambool, his name is Phil Johnson, out there for Truck. Les Williams used trucks is the 1,000. The Bill Barrows car is looking good off turn 4. The battle on for second between Middleton and Bill, two semi-locals if you like, and the battle coming out in Bill's way as they come off the second turn. They're down into 3. Hallower, he's been putting in some tops over the last 2 nights, and Law's getting going. Here comes Brazier, he's going now. Nathan McDonald, of course, sitting back there, just trying to get it together quietly. This kid's got a bunch of talent, and if they can get the car set up for the evening, you're going to see some of it here tonight. But in the meantime, the talent they're chasing is Filton. He goes into turn number 3, does a few stints in hot rods, they tell me, and he comes off turn 4, down into 1 again. Length of the straightaway separating first from second. The Union Steel of Kenville second. Challenge on for 4th place at the moment. Have a look at Lewis putting some pressure on Les Hallower, all trying to find that line. Lewis looks like he might get him this time, but no, Les drives it perfectly. To turn. Gary Brazier joining him for lunch as well. We've got the leader coming past us now. This is going to be a quickie going on the second turn, and Johnson, he's got the foot right in the bucket up to turn number 3. He comes off turn number 4, and so far doing a faultless job. Trying to run him down is car number 8, the Union Steel entry of Kenville, and then behind him we've got the Battle Royal going on. Let's have a look at him. White flag coming out. This time, 1 to go. Jono's doing it in big style here. He goes into turn number 1. Hill flashes by, and Middleton hanging on there. He's gassing him. He's starting to break away from this next bunch. Lewis desperately scratching for points. There's the check. It comes down for Johnson. The 6 car is first. Car 12 in second. Car number 8 in second place. The 12 car through in third. God, nearly lost my tooth that time. Jono coming around before. Phil Johnson on the comeback trail in sprint cars. Fresh out the pack at Bill Barrows' garage. It's out there doing it. Come on. Big round of applause to one of Warrnambool's favourite sons. He's coming off turn number 4 at the moment. Giving a round of applause in the main straight. Phil Johnson, the familiar car. Nice to see it back in the red colours. Haven't seen it for ages and ages.
The red ones always go fastest, and there's no doubt about it.
So the red one's the last one. Oh, this is Smarty's head, sorry.
No doubt about it. The Bill Barrows South Australia number 6 entry, of course, piloted tonight by Phil Johnson, taking out that heat in fine fashion from Kenville, another local in the Warrnambool 8 car from Phil Middleton.
Can't take much away from those two guys. They've been putting on a top show. Phil Middleton, probably one of the lowest budgeted races here, and he's been really going for it.
Been having a
double 5 car from New South Wales off 1. The 55 car from Victoria, Fred Edwards off 2. New South Wales 3, Robert Farr off 3. Off 4, Victoria 28, Alan Barley. Off 5, Victoria 37, David Anderson. Off 6, South Australia car number 8 in Pete Smith. And off the back of the pack, USA 7, Danny Smith. Heat 14's coming up behind that one, and let me tell you, we may see a replay, albeit a mini form, of last night's main final. And if you hear it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Just a little reminder, 10 laps of racing up for grabs. A record of 1:57.60 as we go quickly down to John Cobby.
Worth considering in this upcoming event. Danny Smith driving the Darryl Nash-owned car number 7, the electronic fueling tonight. The team have changed engines since last night. Could be interesting. Back to the commentary.
Thank you, John, and that's interesting. We've got all sorts of combinations coming up. The sun receding over the hill towards where, Stuart? Over the hill towards Warrnambool or somewhere, I guess. So that'll be the story there. Yeah, what do you hope? Having a good time? I hope so. Probably having a bit of a cackle. Okay, we've got that happening at the moment. Heat number 13, out on the circuit behind a Speedway pace vehicle. Just looking at now, we've got counting down 4 heats to go, including the one on the circuit at the moment. And then, of course, we're going into the super rods again. We've got a trophy dash, $5 up for grabs. No points on the event, but I think every racer out there would like a cool 500 folding dollars in their kick to take out a 6-lap trophy dash. The B main, That'll be an interesting one. And then, of course, we'll have an interval then. Lots of excitement coming your way, especially from infield. Tim O'Brien to do some amazing things. Also, Kenny Kay, the Gum Leaf Power Kid. Let's see what we can do for this one. This is her lucky 13. And we've got Grant getting unseated there by Alan Barley. That's the lead tongues. Freddie Edwards, have a look at Robert Farr. He's up there amongst it. David Anderson also in that. But around the high line comes Peter Smith. He's putting on a top show here. Peter Smith, the ex-Tomlinson car. Anderson getting a little out of touch there. Two of them going for it down into turn number 3. Anderson goes wide. Smith's in there. This is top sprint car action as they come around. We've got the leader off turn number 2. It's Alan Barley. Second is Tunks, the length of the straightaway, separate two of them. Then with Robert Farr, he's going to put some pressure on. He's a New South Welshman. One is being sorted out, fifth on the charge now. Up beside Edwards, pushing his way forward. He gets up into that position. Now here comes Anderson. He tried to follow through. Anderson on the low line now. He's clearing out. Edwards now relegated to second last position. Meanwhile, back at the head of the race, the Huzzy Performance number 28 car of Alan Barley doing a top job. Still the battle looming for second place, but Danny Smith's about to enter into that one. It's Tunks, Farr, and Danny Smith in that order for second, third and fourth. And this one's going to go down to the wire again. What a top note of racing here at Premier. The track coming in at the right time. It does appear again. We've seen him on the low line, mid-track and high lines here. And let me tell you, nobody's lifting the foot. Leader past us now. He'll be pleased with the performance. There's 3 circulations of Premier remaining. And it looked like somebody got a Footscray fair go there. And I think it was Robert Farr. I won't have that one. Thanks very much, umpire. They'll go around the second turn now. Is our race leader, car 28. Meanwhile, the battle for the minors. Big Danny Smith from Danville, Indiana. He's coming up into the action. And into the third turn. This time to go. Less than that for the race leader. We've got the battle looming for the minors. That's what Barley. He's clear of this one. He's going to take out heat number 13, the 28 car from Victoria, and you can put your hands together for him. But have a look at this one. Grant Tunks hangs on in the double 5 car for Federal Mogul. Smith behind him in the 7 car. Anderson behind him in car 37, and they were followed by car number 3, the KBT Overnight Express car there, and I think that was pretty incredible. Shane, was I right? Did Denny hang on for third?
Yes, Danny Smith definitely home in third position. But how about the drive there in the early laps of Fred Edwards? We've spoke about Fred Edwards in the earlier part of the evening. Peter Smith in there, but great passing drive there at one stage of the event, about mid-race by David Anderson through turns 3 and 4, right up there on the high line. Gained himself a couple of fairly good positions there from David Anderson. Over to you, John Cobby.
Thank you, Ian. Great bit of driving there from Alan Barley into turn number 1 when the green flag dropped. Showed a lot of aggression, a lot of hustle, and was able to go through and lead the turn number 2. The team have done their homework. The car was working nicely. But by contrast, the Robert Farr, the car seemed to develop a bit of a push. It was a little too tight. I felt a little bit sorry for Robert. Was pursued the car and got freight 3-4 by a couple of cars.
Thanks, John. 2, Tunks off 3, Lacey off 4, George Tattle off 5, Dums off 6, and Gary off the back of the pack. We are going to get a mini repeat of last night's, I hope. And Shane Maloney's sitting here on action. He's down there. And, of course, the Bonham Sawmills line up there amongst all the state flags. And, of course, the flag from the United States of America, including our own Australian flag. Pace car off, please. Fasten your seatbelts for this one. Will we have a repeat in mini form of last night's absolutely amazing Amen? And will we just see a little preview of what tonight's all about? And maybe we'll decide who out of the far from Victoria and the 1 car from New South Wales, who's going to sit on the pole for this race with the outpoints watcher. Gassing it big time, Ackland. Have a look at Dubsney. Jumping up there quick for this one. And Dubsney's chasing Brett. Lacey's got a marvellous start. They go up to turn number 3. Lacey, Ackland, Dubsney in that order. Rush still backed into the back of the pack. He's fighting Bob Tunks. He's got by him now. And we see Lacey skipping away with this one. We've been waiting for Lacey. Hey, George Tattle in trouble. George Tattle in trouble. Up on turn number 3. Caution on the racetrack. With only 1 clear lap down, I'm thinking George Tatnall, a problem up on the back chute, looking down towards the diff or something, the drive line. The car there. 2 push starts would require him to go regards to the back of the field. And it looks more serious than that. I was kind of hoping for George that it was just a car jumped out of gear. Not totally sure what the story is. John Cobby will be right on that one for us. But certainly the number 5 Winfield Racing entry also out there. And Alan Felsh Engines is motionless in the middle of the racetrack. George will take off his AGV helmet. I think that's what he still wears, AGV helmets, and will be regaining his composure and waiting to report to his crew chief and hopefully get it done. But it looks like a little more serious. They've dropped some material down there, maybe George leaking oil out the back, whether it's a cap off the back of the differential. Let's hope it's something similar like this. An Indian file for the restart this time. Brett Lacey calls the shot beautifully. Have a look at Dumsney. Away very quickly in the Valvoline number 5 car. Rush still stuck at the back of the pack. Has got to do it again past Bob Tunks, given that it was only 1 lap down. 8 remaining this time. We'll watch him around the second turn. The 21 car of Brett Lacey, our 87 national champion. Here's the race leader. Have a look at Dumsney. Up on the high line almost. And he's throwing out the challenge. But Brett Lacey in the Snee Chassis 21 cars holding him off thus far. Ackland third, Rush fourth. Further back we've got Bob Tunks. In the back of the back we've got Butch Hunter. And everybody watching this one. 2 former national champions going at it. Second turn, Dumsney number 3. And he's in the lead on this one. Max Dumsney for Valvoline in heat number 14. And just if Gary Rush can't bridge the gap, that Dumsney might start off on the pole for the Classic. The points are important. They come off to number 4. And it's still Dumsney, Brett Lacey, Ackland, Gary Rush closing, followed by Bob Tunks and Butch Hunter at the back of the pack. There's 3 remaining, 3 circulations after this time around past the start-finish line at Premier Speedway for heat number 14 for the 21st running of the clock. They go around here again. Have a look at Dumsney. He's got the foot in the bucket with 2 to go. Dumsney comes up the second turn. Ackland holding the Australian champion back at the moment for third spot. Bureau and Rush. They go around the 4th turn now. And there's 1 to go for Max Dumsney. Have a look at the race time up there. It'll be interesting to see what he's doing. Rush again trying to get past Ackland. Dumsney comes around for the checkered flag. Second past the line, Brett Lacey. Chris Ackland, 2 feet on the accelerator, and he holds him out for third place. Rush fourth, followed by Bob Tunks, and Butch Hunter will be the other one home here. The quickie, absolutely. Max Dumsney's got it. Get up and wave your programs as he comes around. Car 5 from Victoria. Big one for him there. Dumsney, the winner of heat number 14. No race time because of the stoppage. Home Brett Lacey from Victoria in the 21 car. At car number 19 from Victoria. Chris Ackland. What a mighty job. What more can I say about that? We've got John Cobby just coming up here. I'll give that to you quickly before I forget it. If Brooke Tatnall wins this event, he could start off on the pole for the Classic. If he runs second, Max Dumsney will sit on the pole and Gary Rush will off position 3. The equation in the hands of the number 8 car. Sorry, back to our lineup. South Australia 6 off the pole is Filton. Victoria 14 is going to run off the back of the pack, so we'll have the South Australia 27 car off the front row. Second row, Les Harrow in 88. Tatnall in car number 8 off 4. And the third row made up of Nathan McDonald and car number 14, Jerry Brown. To you again, Phil Johnson, South Australia 6 off 1. Wayne Barker, South Australia 27 off 2. Les Harrow, double 8 car from Victoria off 3. Brooke car 8 from New South Wales off 4. Off 5 will be the 32 car McDonald, and off 6 is Jerry Brown, the 14 car from Victoria. Nathan McDonald, of course, from Queensland. Brooke Tatnall needs to win on this one to perhaps sit on the pole. That's the equation. So it looks like Brooke Tatnall, Dumsney and Rush in close company for the final tonight. We'll watch the start here. Barker clears out. Brooke Tatnell tries to run under him. The two of them go to contact, wheel banging, and Brooke Tatnell jumps out of the lead. Brooke Tatnell for Winfield in car number 8 off turn number 4 is running away from this one. And let me tell you, nobody looks like they've got an answer to him. In problems at the moment is car number 6, Phil Johnson, has got right off the pace all of a sudden, and something wrong with the Bill's car. Brooke Tatnell clears out off the second corner down into number 3, Wayne Bunker running in second place, third Nathan McDonald. Behind them we've got the double 8 car of Les Harrower. And further back, Bill Johnson. And let me tell you, there's definitely problems in the Barrows car. Jerry Brown, in fact, going underneath him at car number 14. Here comes Brooke Tatnell. Johnson seems to be okay again. I'm not quite sure what the story is. But right at the moment, the car seems to be firing on all 8. So Johnson, Tatnell on the racecourse, but in fact it's Brooke Tatnell, the race leader. Johnson is almost 1 lap down, and he's hanging on the Bill Barrows car. Well, what's the two of them down in there? And Phil Johnson lets him go on by. He has obeyed the passing flag, which will indicate any car that's coming around the lap you. And Brooke Tatnell going on very merry way. Race time with 3 remaining for the race leader. Coming around now, Brooke Tatnell off turn number 4. This may set him on the pole for the Classic with the points accumulation. We were told about this before the event. 1 to go for Brooke Tatnell. He comes off turn 4 and he's doing it in super quick style. Wayne Bunker coming around in second place in 27. Nathan McDonald in third. Brooke Tatnell already down into turn number 3. Checkered flag, and Brooke Tatnell in record time, ladies and gentlemen. The record on Brooke Tatnell's got it. The record has gone here for 10 laps of racing. Brooke Tatnell has done it in fine style. Wayne Bunker second. Third place, 32 car, Nathan McDonald. You can give him a great big round of applause. Have a look up there. 1:55.97 for 10 laps of racing for this young man. New South Wales for Winfield Racing. Tatnell, give him a great big applause in the stand as he goes by. 11:02 unofficially circulating around here, and Shane Maloney, that is in coordination with his father's record lap of 11:02.
11:02 is the lap record, single lap record here at Premier Speedway, held by George Tatnell. Great drive there by Brooke Tatnell to come first position there and hold down the 10 lap record here at Premier Speedway.
Callum off 1, Phil Middleton off 2, Bill Bailey off 3, Kell off 4, Jamie Cobby off 5, Ian Lewis off 6. Back of the pack, we have got New South Wales 21 in Gary's here. Now, the point score coming through the computer, and it turned out to be the miscalculation from our numbers here. Max Dumsney is on top of the leaderboard with 221 points from Gary Rush on 218, and Brooke Tatnell after his last effort on 2-5. Other races coming up for the feature tonight. I tell you what, we gave you something to tell your grandchildren last night, the big race. The heat races have told you a little bit more to add to the fable, and we'll be getting something more for you out of the feature race this evening. Hopefully it'll go wide a wire. Stuart Allen will be telling us about some race records back in the old days from 40 laps right through till today's 35 lap event, and a whole bunch of dollars. 40 grand up for grabs over the weekend, and the lion's share of it going to the man who is sashed with the blue ribbon at the end of the night, and the gold and the glory. Mr. Gus Mercurio will be presenting them on behalf of Bonham Sawmills, and we welcome him back to the 93 Classic. 21st running it. Bet there's a lot of you here that saw number 1. We'll hopefully be talking to the man who won that event around about interval tonight. And of course we're talking about Zeke Agars. He'll be talking to John Cobby, hopefully. Race 2 won the final heat of heat number 16. What a long road it's been for some of them. Good story, bad stories. Dion Appleby, my heart goes out to him tonight. He's been right through the Quid Championship from Kalgoorlie to here in Premier's Bay. West Australia, South Australia, Victoria, New South, and everywhere else. And of course, was Crook with Chicken 1 week ago, was looking forward to this event. They've lost oil pressure tonight. What more can I say? Phil March, another one in that department. And a little bit ordinary coming around off turn at number 4. Interesting to see what they low. No, thank you. And Phil Middleton getting up at concrete right under Morse's exhaust and brakes sign. Time, final heat of the night. Ninth this time, Kent McCallum doing it well on the low line. Have a look at Middleton, right round the outside of him there. He goes up into 3 as the race leader. Bill Barley from the US is up there in position 3. Right behind him is Ian Lewis. They're followed by Jamie Covey. He's around the outside, and you've got to believe it, of Kent Veal. And Gary coming on strong from the back of the pack. Race leaders for this one. This is the no mucking around. The track's in out here tonight. There's no excuse. A little bit of bumpo or something put Jamie Cobby off the pace for a minute. But look at that, trying to get through everybody here. Lewis is the charger.
Car Classic. Well, our next driver, he is a former national champ, really needs no introduction, going out of position number 10, driving car 21 tonight. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Brett Lacey. Dorian, the big roar. Collecting the medallion. Brett, what's the game plan for the final?
I just stay with it and go as hard as we can. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank everybody, thank my sponsors, thank my pit crew, and a special thank you tonight to Rod Tarner from America. He's been a help all weekend. Thanks very much.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, Brett Lacey, and let's hope for his sake it's hammer down time in the 35-lap final. Next on the little Queenslander, out of position number 9 this evening, driver of car number 32. Ladies and gentlemen, he ran 3rd here last week, Nathan McDonald. Nathan just joining us, picking up the medallion. Happy with the setup in the car?
Yeah, it's a long race. You know, you got to set up for the end of the race and try and come home then. But there's a lot of fast guys up the front, and we're just going to try and for a top 5 finish.
Do you think it should hold you in good stead after running here last weekend?
The track's been totally different this weekend. It sort of got every prize, I think, but we're sort of getting there now, so see what happens.
Nathan, all the best of luck.
Thank you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Nathan McDonald, the Queenslander, hoping for a big one here this evening. We're going to hop in the back of the... Winner of a World Series Quick Sprint Car round here this season, and he'll pick up the medallion from the lovely Mrs. Lynette Watson. Good stuff for Wayne, as I said, starting outside of the 4th row. Happy with the way things have gone, Wayne? You're not going to escape without a word. Happy with the way things have gone?
Oh yeah, we're going pretty good. We're around about the mark.
Hoping you've got the hot setup in this one?
It's a good guessing game.
Okay, Wayne, all the best of luck for the final as we move down the list to the driver who will start from position number 7, the inside of the 4th row, car number 16, ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Cobby! Driving the Dave Farrell-owned car, picking up the medallion here from Lynette. Got into the trophy dash, some trouble there for Danny Smith. You're able to run the car there. Hopefully you got the setup right for the final.
Yeah, we hope so. It's a bit of a toss of the coin and gamble when they grade the track like this. Everyone's in the same boat.
Oh, it should be a big one. You're here last weekend, of course. Second Umsley, hoping to come through from the 4th row and finish inside the top 3.
Yep, we're here to do the best we can. Whatever happens, happens.
Okay, gentlemen, Jamie Cobby, position number 7 in the A-main this evening. Next test, they've changed an engine in the space of about 30 minutes. The driver needs no introduction. Won 5 Grand Annual Sprint Car Class from Danville, Indiana, Danny Smith. He's a regular to Warrnambool here. He's collected his medallion. We're going to have a quick chat with him, and you must really be looking forward to this final.
Yeah, we'll start out of 6. It'd be nice to start out of 1 or 2, so a long way to go with all the good cars in the front, so we'll do our best.
Well, of course, you've won 5. You'd dearly love to take out 6. Are we going to see you back here in the next few years?
Oh, I'm sure as long as they got race cars in Australia, I'll be coming back.
Good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Danny Smith, and he's going to start position number 6 in the final this evening. He's finished inside the top 4 here last season. One of the big drivers, and he'll start from position number 5 this evening. Drives 37. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, David Anderson. Dave just come to collect his medallion. All fired up for the 35-lapper, Dave?
Yeah, we'll be giving it our best shot.
Of course, they've supported you throughout the 92-90 campaign, but gee, you dearly love, I'm sure, to finish inside the top 3, possibly top 1 or 2 in this.
Yeah, I certainly would, Joe. I'd like to be up there on the podium at the end. 35 laps is a long way. We'll just see what happens.
There he is, David Anderson, driver of car number 30 this evening. Next on our hit list, he'll come down to pick up his medallion. New South Welshman, driver of car number 21, Gary Brazier. There's the medallion. The car was looking pretty strong in the trophy dash. Were your team? Get a good indication of setup for the final here, Gary?
Yeah, we just tried to use 3 different things for the dash, and it worked out pretty well. So we just hope we can last the 35 and end up finishing the race in front of everyone else.
All fired up for the first lap, going to try and pick up a couple of
We just take it as it comes. You can't get too excited. Just see 4 other than the first one. So anyway, I'd just like to thank my crew for doing a hell of a job. I'd like to thank my mum and dad for putting me aboard. I'd just like to thank the crowd for coming and giving everyone their support. Thank you.
Excellent, good speech. Gary Brazier, ladies and gentlemen, starting on the outside of the second row this evening. Move along to another New South Welshman, driving car number 8. Here he is, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, Brooke Tacknell. That's it on the main chute. Has had a pretty strong run. Happy with the way things have gone in qualifying, Brooke?
Yeah, we've been going pretty good. We're not quick enough yet, but future we'll be able to pull it all together and hopefully end up 3 spots.
Well, you finished in 3rd last night, and I'm sure you'd love to get up inside the top 2. Is that different to the setup of the car, or you just played it by ear, just checking how the track is shaped up?
Well, we changed a lot of different things. It's the first time we've had this car out of Warrnambool, and there's something different to the gambler. But yeah, we really changed the car around all night, and just all pulls together tonight.
Good stuff there. Tacknell, ladies and gentlemen, driving car number 8 this evening, and he's going to start the inside of the second row. Here he is, the man who has won an unprecedented 7 Grand Annual Sprintcar Classics, hoping to make it number 8 this evening for Team Cole. Took out the trophy dash earlier on. Ladies and gentlemen, a big roar, Gary Rush! That's the way. Big support for Gary. He'll pick up his medallion, of course, from Lynette. We'll have a quick chat with him. Stallion there. Have you changed anything since the track? She said the engine still wasn't quite there, although it was running, or it appeared to be running very strongly.
No, the motor was running okay. We had a running oil leak there, but we patched that up. And the car's right. We put a few new tyres on it, and we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Gee, it must be a great feeling being able to run wheel to wheel with Max as you did last night. Enough to seem to slick off a fraction, but gee, running wheel to wheel with Max, it must be a real buzz.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable. I think we both enjoyed it very much, and hopefully we, no, I was going to say hopefully we can have another good race tonight, but no, I'd like to be in front tonight.
Well, he's done it 7 times before. Can he make it number 8 tonight? That's the question. Gary Rush for Castrol Racing. Plenty of support here at Premier Speedway, and that's the way it should be. We're now going to move along to the driver who top point scored. As the point scorer, Max Dumsney has elected to run from position number 2. Get the applause running. Mighty Max Dumsney! Check out it was a barnstorming race last night. Gary Rush versus Max Dumsney. They appear to be in a class of their own. Max, you've chose to go on number 2. As you started, I think, by memory last weekend. What's planned from here?
I'd like to get up front and hold in position, but Gary might have something to say about that. Let's just hope we have a really good Valvoline Castrol duel again tonight. But I still want to end up in front, just like Gary says. It was a little bit too close last night, but let's hope we get and have another good race.
Well, you're aiming to make it back-to-back Grand Annual Sprint Car Classics. The car didn't seem to be quite there on the trophy dash. Made some adjustments?
Yeah, we've made some minor ones and too bad, I think.
Okay, good stuff. As I said, trying to make it back-to-back Grand Annual Classics. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a collective round of applause. 117, the starters tonight, the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic. You're a good crowd. You put it together for each and every one of our competitors.
John Cubby down on the infield. Gary Rush will be the pole sitter. Max Dumsney, top point scorers, elected to go off position number 2. Brooke Tatnall's off 3. Gazer off 4. Off 5 is David Anderson. Off 6, Danny Smith. 7, Jamie Cobby. 8, Wayne Bunker. 9, Nathan McDonald from Queensland. 10th, Brett Lacey. Then it goes 11, Bill Bailey. 12, Ian Lewis. Robert Farr off 13. 14, Peter Smith. 15, Bob Tunks, and 16, Alan Barley. Chris Ackland is the first emergency in the 9-8 car. The push vehicle will come up behind him, and they may even do an engine start, let him roll around a little bit. They'll be calling him up behind the Premier Speedway utility out there, the pace vehicle. At some particular stage, the photographers loading their cameras, the motor drives, the electronic media from Vic TV, and all others interested in tonight's racing are poised for the start of this great event. And I hope you are really going to be treated to some fine racing. Welcome to everybody that's joined us tonight from here in Warrnambool, from over Victoria and interstate, and the people joining us from the United States of America as our guests. I hope you had a wonderful weekend here, and that we've shown you the hospitality the Premier Speedway Club puts on offer for the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic every Australia Day weekend. The tradition has not ended with Australia Day weekend now being changed next year. The last weekend in January is what it's all about, and that will continue in 1994. And before we get into this one, our sincere thanks to Bonham Sawmills, been with us for 6 years as the major sponsor of the Classic, and especially to our good friends as Gavin and Annette Rowe, who are at your top job, and all their guests here tonight. Hope you're having a nice night at the motor races, and that this Classic is fitting of the tradition that has been over the 21 years in the past. We've got everybody coming into rows. Start warming yourself up. Get up off your seats. You're going to get the salute coming to you, the crowd, in rows of 2. What about starting around on the terraces, getting them going? Rush and Max Dumsney in the front row. The second row, Brooke Tatnall goes here. Come on, crank them up as they come around there. Get those caps and programs going. And the grandstand. You reckon you could stand up next time around? I'd like to see it. Now, starting around on turn number 4 in the start of the straight. What about getting the wave? Come on, get up off your and wave to these guys. We're watching them go around the 16 competitors. Looking at 5 laps of racing. Don't stop waving the caps and programs. Pump these guys up big time. Now, what about the Mexican wave when they come around this starting in the main straight? Come on, get up and do it. As they come in the main straight, come on, arms up in the air. You ready on the terrace round there? Come on, you wusses in the pit area. Start on turn number 1. Get the arms in the air, the wave's on. Start on the terrace where they do it all. Up the back chute. Here is the salute to the crowd in the stand. Keep it going as they come around. This is Waterbull tradition. A big effort. Stand up and do it this time. Come on. Even the pit crews might even join in this time. Get those arms in the air as they come by. Turn 1, get into it round there. You ready on the terrace? Come on, get up and roar this time. And in the stand, give them the best one you've ever given them. Back into Rosa 2, keep it going as they come around. Come on, pump them up time in the main straight here. Here's Dumsney leading them off too. You don't like the guys? Well, get up and show them all about it. Come on the terrace one more time. Back straight, stand is ready. Full stuff. We're about to start as orders. If you've got your Walkman, please tune to 88.2 on the AM band to 3B. Thanks very much, Steve, and we're certainly getting ready for the start of this one, the pace vehicle off. I'll just get a little bit more fold back if I can here, buddy. And we're looking for Max Dumsney on the outside, electing to start off position 2, Gary Rush off position 1. Steve's give you the rest of the field. It's going to be interesting as they come around. 35 laps for the 21st running of the Classic. Up goes the fireworks, and we're certainly got it happening here. The battle's on. We've got driver Brooke Tatnall. He's crashed it big time around on the 1-2 turn. Brooke Tatnall from New South Wales. Brooke Tatnall from New South Wales is upside down, crashing on the 1-2 turn. He's brought out a solid red light, meaning that Oz must stop down at the start-finish line. And the record is still intact. We'll have a complete restart for this one. 35 laps. Danny Smith's 35 lap record of 8:01 will remain intact at this stage. Brooke Tatnall, let's hope he's quite okay. Paramedics and crash crews attending to him over on turn number 2, the number 8 Whitfield Racing Team car has had a collision with the fence and gone up over it. He's out the car, ladies and gentlemen. At the moment, pulls out the car. The least that they can be giving him here at the race circuit is a applause. It might bring his spirits up a little bit. A very concerned team running over there at the moment, but it looks to me from this particular point that, in fact, Brooke Tatnall is in serious trouble with restarting. Paramedics talking to him. He's going under his own steam, coming onto the infield, and one would have to wonder what's going through this young man in his early 20s mind at the moment, when he thought he was a real chance to get up and take the 21st running of the event. So
being fired up now, the USA number 2 car, the Bill Bailey car, now enters the circuit. The Premier Speedway pace chute. Now as we see the cars forming themselves up once again for this, the 21st running of the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic here at Premier Speedway. As we see Gary Max Dumsney the front row, David Anderson, Gary Brazier making up the second row. We're going back then for the car of Jamie Cobby. Guys taking a little bit of time to sort themselves out. Chris Ackland, the reserve car, getting the engine warmed up, taking over the field. Danny Smith, 5 times winner of the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic. Up into position number 6. Go back for Nathan McDonald, Wayne Bunker, Bill Bailey, Brett Lacey. New South Wales number 3 car there of Robbie Farr. Peter Smith out of South Australia, the South Australia 8 Highway Inn car. Ian Lewis long slots himself down in position. The Harry Drosty entered race car. Any moment now we're looking for the pace car to come off when it comes into the front this time. We'll be looking for a race start. The next time they come around, the Premier Speedway ute comes off the circuit.
We're looking good for a start this time around, and I'll just pick up some track commentary here while we're going away. If you've got your headset on for 3YB 882 on the AM dial, spectators here, we have a capacity house at Premier Speedway. I can't tell you how many people, but maybe about 10 or 12,000, all having a great time as we see Gary Rush again off position 1. Max Dumsney to go off position 2 after being top point scorer. Rush dictating the pace. I get a yes over the intercom here from the Chief Steward. Rush leads the race out of the second turn, and we've got caution track. I'm suggesting perhaps they might think that Rush have possibly jumped on that one, and I'm only making an opinion. We've got we're suspecting that perhaps the protest flag, if any, will not be in fact Rush's fault. There was a problem further back in the field, and it's all hectic stuff. It's all very, very pumped up here at the moment. Gary Rush and Max Dumsney off the front row. Off the second row, David Anderson and Gary Brazier. The third row, Jamie Cobby and Danny Smith. Smith's won the race on 5 occasions, Rush 7 occasions, and Max Dumsney won it for the first time in 92, going for back-to-back victories in this one. Fourth row we go back, we've got the Queenslander Nathan McDonald and South Australia's Wayne. Behind that, American Bill Bailey, and also outside of him, Brett Lacey, who was our 1987 national champion. Next row behind them, Robert Farr for KBT Transport and Ian Lewis. Ian Lewis, a locally owned Drosty car. The second last row is Bob Tunks, outside of him Peter Smith in the back row, Chris Ackland and Alan Barley. Looking good for a start this time. It looks very nice. They come around. Perfect start this time. Dumsney tries to jump out and have a look at Rush on the low line, but Dumsney is the early race leader here in the Classic as they go into turn 3. Rush is behind him, followed by Gary Brazier. And the three of them come rocketing around. David Anderson's leading the next group, and Danny Smith's starting to come up. He's racing with Jamie Cobby for position number 5 at the moment. Smith gets through on the out, and Smith is now on the hunt. The interesting equation here, who's got the setup for the final laps? Gary Brazier is pacing Rush and Dumsney, and Rush and Dumsney come together out of turn 2. Just a racing incident. Rush put momentarily off the pace, and Rush is now experiencing smoke from the left bank of the Castrol number 1 car. It's Dumsney and the Velvet machine leaving. We've got the battle of the lubricants, if you like. Chris Ackland experiencing a handling problem there, and he's just about to be lapped, I'd say, in the next lap or 2. No make it this lap. In fact, bad luck for Chris Ackland. He's out of the event, it appears. Rod, the young guy from Warrnambool, he actually got to run 2 laps or 3 laps, I think it was, of the actual race, and has pulled infield with some sort of mechanical problem. Meanwhile, back at the head of the fish, has gone back to 3rd place. I think he's experiencing some sort of problems with his car, and Dumsney's being hounded by Gary Brazier. In fact, Brazier's got his nose in front of Dumsney, and Gary Brazier's now leading the 1993 Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic. This young man is 20 years old, Guildford in New South Wales. His father won the 1979 Australian Championship here at Premier, and this young man is on fire. He's flying around here. He's now coming up behind the back traffic. He gets around Peter Smith. He's chasing Robert Farr, and let me tell you, if he can keep this going, it's going to absolutely blitz these fellas. Dumsney has no answer to him at this early stage. Neither has Gary Rush. David Anderson is in 4th spot. Brazier trying everything to get round the field. He tries to get down and let these guys know that he is coming through. He is putting laps on these guys as he comes around. The passing flag being shown to Robert Farr. Robert Farr, whole line in the KBT entry. Gary Brazier becoming frustrated, not being able to get around to him, but Robert Farr is being consistent with his line. Brazier on the high line now off turn number 4. I raised my voice because it was the most move so far in the race. Rush in the meantime has got by Dumsney. The 2 of them are going for hammer and tongs for 2nd place. Rush has got a bit of a smoking Joe motor, but I believe it's only a bit of oil down on the header pipes. Let's hope that's the case.
Brazier in the meantime rockets out of turn number 2. He's up beside Barley. He rockets into turn number... This time there'll be 22 laps of the 35 lap event remaining. Off turn number 2, the action, the 21 car. And I'll tell you what, this will be an emotional moment if this young kid can get up. And he comes past us now for another lap of Premier Speedway. Here comes Rush. He's run away from Dumsney now. This is a race changing fortunes at this early stage. Rush smoking slightly from the left header bank. Unfortunately, it looks like that smoke is increasing. He comes around now to record another lap in second place. But let me tell you, he's almost 1/2 a lap down on the leader in Gary Brazier. 19 laps remaining this time. Brazier in the 21 car. He's just going for it. The exuberance of his youth is being shown. Rush now in vintage style round the outside of Barley. Dumsney in the meantime is there. Anderson within striking distance of him. They're all over the place at the moment. Cars are intertwined in a lapping motion. We've got the race leader coming up into 3. He's beside Brett Lacey, and Brett Lacey sees it's the leader and moves up in sportsman style. Down into turn number 1. It's Brazier on the go in the 21 car. We pick up Rush. He's cleared out again. Dumsney now is starting to run hard. He's up on the mid-track line of Premier Speedway. The leader past us now, and he's going around in the 1-2 turn. We talk at Gary Brazier again. The quarter mile track here. We're getting dizzy watching it. There's 15 remaining this time round, Pudge. And Bill Barley gets a little push up track by Brazier. They're trying to get through because he knows Rush will be there somewhere. Rush, though, is not balanced. The American Bill Bailey from Bonia has retired. The number 2 car stopped on the 1-2 turn infield. The leader passed us again. It's still Gary Brazier up the back straight on the Warrnambool side. He's got this thing absolutely rocketing. We saw him do it a couple ago up at Brisbane, but unfortunately cut a tyre down with 2 to go. Let's hope his luck improves this evening. Off the second turn, Gary Brazier out there. Into the back chute, turn number 3. Still behind Wayne Bunker from South Australia and Jamie Cobby. The passing flag being entered and trying to get past Dumsney for 3rd spot. There's everything happening here at the moment. I'm just trying to check on where Lewis is running at this particular stage. We think he's a lap down. He's in amongst this foray at the moment. Now, Gary Brazier, let me tell you, has just gone by Jamie Cobby. He's chasing Bunker, and about 4 cars in front of him is Max Dumsney. So this is amazing. We've got 10 laps remaining. It's a heat race. Gary Brazier off the second turn. His father, Steve Brazier, 2 times national champion. We'll be watching this one intensely. Rush is still hanging there in second position. 3rd place at the moment, I think, is still... Oh, drama here. And we've got cars. Anderson's going to bring caution. Bunker's involved in it. Cars on the track. And we've got caution. Caution with 9 remaining. Down here, the incident on the 1-2 turn involving Wayne Bunker and David Anderson, and unfortunately for David Anderson, under caution coming in, the car wobbling around, broken suspension, and not a happy day. I'd say the suspension stop was let go on the rear of the Wagga Mobile Cranes 37 car. He will not be a happy camper. He is flicking off his helmet and getting out there. Bunker sitting on the just on the track on the entry to turn 2. Anderson's car just erupting into some steam there at the moment. The fire crew just coming in there to keep an eye on it. It's certainly not the problem that they think it is, but taking no chances nevertheless, and it's great to see them in it. Well, we've got them out at the moment, and we hope the crowd will warm them up as around. Young Gary Brazier, 20-year-old from Guildford in New South Wales, is leading this one. Gary Rush running second, Max Dumsney 3rd, Big Danny up into 4th place. So right breathing down the neck of the 21 car of Gary Brazier is 3 classic winners. Rush 7 times, Dumsney in 90, and 5 times for the 7 car of Danny Smith. And you go, I hope all the crowd here is getting up and waving their caps and programs, warming up their favourite as they come around here again and keeping their spirits up during the break, during the stoppage. Anderson in the meantime just absolutely disgusted. He was coming on very, very strong, running 4th, maybe 5th on the racetrack, and 4th we're just having confirmed to us, and coming into the situation there. Wayne was able to restart in the 27 car. He will go to the rear of the field, being involved in that stoppage, I would think. And we'll just watch this for the lineup at the moment. As opposed to the original start race, the restart will be in Indian file. It'll be the 21 car of Gary Brazier off the front, Gary Rush in the number 1 car off 2, Dumsney the 5 car off 3. Nathan McDonald sitting up in 4th spot at the moment. We'll just have to confirm this. The lap scorers have got a most difficult time. We've had cars here that have been lapped and lapped and lapped, and that's certainly no indictment of these guys. It's just a confirmation of the pace here at the moment. Queensland 32 car is possibly 4th, which is Nathan McDonald, and he'll be absolutely tickled at that, with a chance to elevate himself even better on the restart. It's bringing everybody together. At one particular stage, Brazier was 1/2 a lap in front of Gary Rush, and of course this would probably not please him having to start. Rush is the master of the start, and of course he'll be all his experience. Gary Brazier announcing only a few short weeks ago that he too is going to be given assistance from Castrol, and Rush of course sponsored by Team Doll. So them off the front there. The third of course is Max Dumsney. So the battle of the lubricants is far from over at this stage in time. They're just looking at the order. The clerk of course, David McCrabb's just getting down there and sorting everybody out. They must start in Indian file. There's nobody allowed to get up on the high line and do the great big whoop and was slingshot off turn number 4. They'd all like to, but racing rules are racing rules. There is 10 laps remaining. If you want to look at it another way, there's a heat race remaining in this one. 10 circulars, 2.5 mile on the old scale, if you like that, and it's going to be flat out stuff. The methanol burning cars out here are doing a top job. If we can some make up their mind where they are a little further down the pecking order. Danny Smith is sitting on the outside wondering whether he's 4th or 5th. And we've got somebody going to the rear of field. We're just waiting to see who that is. The number being chalked up on the... I don't have the privilege of seeing it at the moment. Just David might be able to whip it round and show us for a moment who it is. And it is car number 27, Wayne Bunker. Thanks, David, to the rear of the field. So Wayne Bunker will be going right back, and as I said, because of the stoppage. And he's not impressed by all of that. He will sit down on the low line. Wayne Bunker out of South Australia for Jet Fuels, also Stillwell Trucks, of course winning round number 1 of the first round run at Warrnambool this year of the Quid Championship. And he will now be having to do it the tough way from the back of the pack. Nathan McDonald also is back up there. I'm not totally understanding that one. Did not see the whether he was involved, and that's terribly disappointing for a kid who's been trying all weekend against it. So it'll be Nathan McDonald second last, and Wayne Bunker off the back. And Wayne Bunker has stopped down on there to argue with the steward about the position. And the push vehicle will go there. And he may be given the black flag. We're just watching what the situation is. And I'm really just a little confused, and you must excuse me for this situation at the moment. Wayne Bunker, the South Australian racer, has in fact stopped down on the... and Wayne Bunker has been given the black flag. Wayne Bunker has been given the black flag. And he will be pushed off on the infield. I'd give you any more information from that. But we're scanning the stewards here tonight, and they are saying that he is out of the event. I can't begin to speak on why, but maybe it was because of the stoppage. I really can't say. As I say, it'll only be speculation. So Wayne Bunker is being told the infield is the place for him. And he's fired the car up. I really don't know what the deal will be. He's fired the up again. And the steward is saying on the intercom that he must be withdrawn from the event. It is a flag for him coming around. So Bunker's lining up. I don't know what to say, but what the situation in fact be, but in any event, Wayne Bunker has restarted after being given the black flag. The green flag is aloft. They may elect him per lap. McDonald in problems with the 32 car. I don't know what the story is there. Here's a go for the start here, and have a look at Gary Rush, the master of the restart. Tried it on the 21 car, but it wasn't to be. Brett Lacey's the one that the biggest amount of of space there in that restart event, but still it's Gary Brazier that's charging away from Gary Rush. Max Dubsey there, trouble for Robert Farr. Robert Farr was offloaded. I don't know what happened to him off turn 4. He's on the infield at the event. So the race goes on. The 21 car of Gary Brazier, the number 1 car of Gary Rush, Max Dumsney in third, Danny Smith fourth. They're followed by Jamie Cobby, Brett Lacey, behind that Alan Barley, then Bob Tux, Ian further back, Peter Smith, and then the 32 car of Nathan McDonald and Wayne Bunker at the back of the pack. But Brazier, just as the restart with 6 remaining, come flying up at the back of the field. He's almost caught the back markers in a couple of short laps. We go up into turn 3. The passing flag will have to be used very liberally here to protect Brazier as he flies around. There's a war going on between Smith and Bunker, the two South Australians at the back of the field. Smith moves up. There's Bunker. He gets out the way. And Bunker cooks it, gets up into the fence, but manages to keep control. Almost collects Rush on the same way. But Wayne Bunker, with some great experience, controls the 27. Rush goes by, and here we go. There'll be 3 remaining. This time, Nathan McDonald's been giving the passing flag. More excitement. Paul's infield. He's had enough for the day. And they go down around onto the 1-2 turn. And we've got the race leader now coming off turn number 4. Gary Brazier doing it in fine fashion. He comes off turn number 2 up into turn number 3. He's up beside Ian Lewis, who, very sportsmanlike, holds his line up high. Nathan McDonald in the lead. 1 to go for Brazier. 1 to go for Gary Brazier this time. Nathan McDonald trying to go with him. Gary Rush will be out there somewhere as well. But there's the checkered flag. The 21-year-old's going to win it. 20 make it for Gary Brazier. Through the line. Rush over the line in second place. Dumsney across into third. What an exciting event here at Premier. Absolutely putting their hands together. A brilliant finish here. A race full of excitement and other events during that. Presentations very, very shortly. I've got it unofficially this stage at car 21 from New South Wales, Gary Brazier, the winning of the 21st running of the Classic with the compliments of Bonham Sawmills. Have a look at this young man. He'll be beside himself as he comes around. We've got Gary Rush coming around now in the Castrol car. He's run a very creditable second with what I think was less than a good engine. There was a problem with smoke coming around. And, of course, Max Dumsney in for third place. And Max Dumsney just a little bit at the moment for this particular race. But as I said, Steve, earlier on in this one, it was going to be all about who picked it for the last half of the event. And for this young man from Guildford, New South Wales, maybe tonight his dreams have come true.
I'd say it's even come true to win the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic, especially if your name's Brazier and been around Speedway as long as Gary Brazier has. The 21st run Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic, second place home at which we see the all clear come up. Brazier, New South Wales 21 home first. Australia 1, Gary Rush home in second place, and Victoria 5, Max Dumsney home in third place. That's all clear up for the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic here at Premier Speedway. Well,
grabbing with the right. Gary, congratulations, a fantastic drive.
Yeah, thanks
Really
a lot.
did well.
Yep, thank you.
The old man set her up pretty well?
Yeah, we got the car dialed into the track tonight, and I'm just proud to be in front of the 2 veterans like Gary Rush. But Max Dumsney's still one of the top drivers, and well, he is the top driver I consider. But I'm just proud to be able to race here. I'd like to thank my dad for giving me all the support and following backing of me. This is all for him, all for the crowd.
How'd you feel at the restart?
Yeah, I felt confident, but I knew my tyre was going to be wearing away. And I just knew I had to run that cushion all the way around the racetrack and I would get there. It gave me a run on the restart, but we pulled away and I'm just proud to be there.
Terrific.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Gotta see your boy.
Okay, cool.
Congratulations. Give him a kiss when you up there.
Yeah, go on.
Go on.
Got there, eh? First one.
Good on you, Mum.
Just good first. Good on, Gary.
Ladies and gentlemen, what about a great big round of applause for first, second, and third? Come on!
The presentation tonight, there's somebody for the last 6 years who has made classic possible, and that is Bonham Sawmills and its principal in Gavin Rowe. Tonight, Gavin would like to say a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, really put it together for Gavin Rowe.
Thanks, Ian. I'd really like to thank Graham Hose, Ian Shepherd and the Premier Speedway for giving me the thrill and the pleasure of sponsoring this event for 6 years. I wish I could do it longer, but anyway, I'll be back again to look at the Classic again, and just thanks everybody. Okay.
Gavin, thank you. Come on, really give this man a great round of applause. And thanks also to Annette and all the great sawmillers at Bowman. Well, a long time ago, a guy came to our shores and he bought us 3 things. He bought us chiropractic mixed with a little boxing. He then brought us Cash & Co. And more recently, he brought us some pride with his son, who made a great movie called Strictly Ballroom. It was Paul Mercurio. Tonight, his dad, Gus Mercurio, is here on behalf of Bonham Sawmills to present the winners' prizes. Would you please welcome him to Premier Speedway? Well, father of Paul.
Well, thank you very much, Ian. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm father of Paul or not. It's a pleasure to be at this particular speedway because really I'm involved in something here that runs the premier sprint car race in the Southern Hemisphere. I mean, that for me is exciting as long as it is as much as it is for people here. Absolutely. And you know, I'd just like to suggest that back in 1958, when they formed the Warrnambool Rod Club, and the first race in February of '58, and about 3,000 people came through the doors on that day. Well, of course, now, much later, in the 21st Classic, which started in 1973, you've got, what, 12,000 people here? Absolutely. And you know, Ian, because of Ian Shepherd, the racing director, and Graham Hose, the president, and Bamford, John Bamford, the vice president, and 300 members that they have. 300 members, ladies and gentlemen. About 80 of those people work every speedway here, and you run about 10 to 12 ways a year. That's an amazing thing for volunteer labor, and there's no paid position. There's 2 part-time paid, but everybody else are volunteers. And I think that says a lot for Warrnambool. It says a lot for the people that support the speedway, and it says a lot for the get up and go people that are here in this district of Warrnambool. Congratulations to the club and to the Warrnambool and to all the racers here.
Gus Mercurio, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to present the gold and the glory. Let's rate in that tonight. 3rd in the 21st running and annual Sprint Car Classic, brought to us with the compliments of Bonham Sawmills. Car number 5 for Valvoline, Max Dumsney.
Good day, Max. Gee, you know, after last night, and you've had a big year too, pal. And I think it was a hell of a race, and of course there's got to be winners and there's got to be that don't win, but you brought a thrill to everybody, and watching you race is a thrill. Congratulations, and better things to come.
No worries, thanks Gus. Well, I'd just like to thank Sawmills for sponsoring us, Valvoline for sponsoring us personally, I mean Bowen for sponsoring this race. Congratulate Gary, he was super fast, it's unbelievable. Like when he went by, he just drove out of sight, and I thought, well, not going to see him again, and maybe if he lapped us. But anyway, congratulations, Gary, and thanks everybody for coming along.
Right, give that to Ian now.
Max Dumsney getting sass for 3rd place. Gavin Rowe, just about to present him and congratulate him. Gavin, a few quick words.
Congratulations, Max. As I said to Gary last year, you can't win them all, but you've done pretty well this year. Congratulations.
No worries, thanks a lot.
And not finished yet, pal. And you need one more to take hold of this. Got the chant of that, the most important. Congratulations once again. Be careful when you start here. You'll be celebrating a little bit too early. Ian.
Thanks very much. Come on, Max Dumsney, third place here tonight. Our Harper family too for the champagne. Second place here tonight for the 1993 Grand and Car Classic from Sydney, New South Wales for Castro, Gary Rush.
Gary, what a tremendous effort. Just looking at the records that since the, I think you won your first one here back about 1976, wasn't it? Yeah, 1976, and this is the 21st running, and you featured in 15 of those as a winner and a third placer.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Well, we got blown off tonight, I'll tell you.
Well, I mean, your consistency, though, and your professionalism and is a tribute to you as a racer, and a tribute to me to be able to talk to you, because I like winners, and you're one of the tops.
Thanks very much. Thanks for your good words.
Ian?
And Gary, with the compliments of Gavin, just as they sash Gary is a lovely check.
Congratulations, Gary. I hope that'll go somewhere along to pay a few of the bills for you. And congratulations.
Thanks very much. Very much.
We've got to fit all this on you now, pal. There's that. And that for a free hand. And that one.
Thank you. Well, thanks very much, everyone. But, gee, this young bloke over here, I've known his family for years. I knew him as a cheeky little brat when he was going to school. And I think his mother and father would agree with me. But, I don't know, we didn't have an answer for him tonight. And what do you say when you get burnt off of it? It's just a credit to him and his mum, dad and his mum. They're putting a lot of effort into him, and he's been working very hard for a big win like this, and I congratulate him very much, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot in the future. But before I go, I'd like to thank everyone for supporting me. I'd like to thank my hard-working crew. Without them, I couldn't race. And my new sponsor, who've been with me for a couple of months, Castrol. Without them, I wouldn't be here. Thank you.
Gary Rush, second tonight in the 93 Classic. Now, Gus, I made a bit of a comment before, and I made that comment about you and your son, and obviously along the way you steered him. I'd like you to meet this young man, second generation racer, the winner of the 21st Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic, Gary Brazier.
Gary, what a tremendous thrill for you and for your dad, because my son Paul gave me a tremendous thrill when he made the movie Strictly Ballroom, and I know you're to be very proud of you, but you must be very thrilled to please your dad to that extent too.
Yeah, you know, like he's just got this car dialed in here tonight, and you know, I'm happy to be ahead of Gary and Max. You know, they're the legends around racing, and you know, I'm just so proud of being here racing against them. It's all the credit goes to my father. You know, he puts all the hard work into the racing, and the crew, you know, they done a job. And I just like to thank everyone. I'd like my sponsor. He's got part of it. I'd like to thank Castrol. Castrol just joined me as well, and without them, you know, I wouldn't have such a great fluid. But I just like to thank Warrnambool as well.
That's tremendous. At 21 years old, driving car 21 in the 21st Classic. I think that's quite good. Congratulations once again. It's a tremendous thrill for everybody here and for your dad and all the people here. And once again, congratulations to Gary Brazier.
Gary Brazier, the winner of the Classic, just about to get from Gavin Rowe a beautiful check.
Congratulations. I hope we see you here very, very many more times. It was really a thrill to watch you race, and we enjoyed it immensely. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. I just, you know, I love this racetrack. I've had a lot of major wins here. Yeah, thank you.
Well, come on, show your appreciation. First, second, and 30 tonight, Gary Brazier. And perhaps we can get them joined at the moment by Steve. Okay, come across, please. Come on, what about 3 cheers? Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Well, let's have the camera shoot at the moment. We've got another event to come, mate. And I think at the moment, this lot are simply the best.
Simply the best out there tonight at Premier Speedway. Gary Brazier, Gary Rush and Max Dumsney. First, second and third in the 1993 Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic.
I don't want you to have that any higher than that. Right.
I'm going to be on telly.
I won't have you until we do the wrap, and I want Gary's trophy when we finish it. Okay. Now you look at Ian, Gary. Not quite that severe.
Put the camera on me.
So you don't look at the camera, you look at the motor, right? You sure? Right. So when? Level. Gary, this is the 21st running of the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic. When did you realise you could actually won it?
As soon as I seen that checkered flag, I didn't even see the white flag. I come around, I was surprised that they were waving the ticket, so I done an extra lap.
So what was your reaction when it sunk in? How does it feel?
Oh, it felt great. I just put my arm in the window, I was shaking, and was just a great feeling.
The preparation, it's a big night of racing. 2 nights, in fact, it started off a whole lot of heat racing. More racing probably than anything else part of the Australian Championship. What was your game when you set out to do this?
We just tried to, every time we went out on the racetrack, we went out there to win. You know, we didn't always do it. We had a couple, you know, we had a couple of wins and stuff, but we just went there just to finish every race and get as many points as we could. How close we could get up to the front.
What about the car? Any hiccups through those 2 nights?
Yeah, the motor's getting a bit tired. We had to look after it a bit, but you know, everything else sort of went to game plan.
We're just trying to check through the records tonight, and we think that maybe the youngest guy will have won it. How does that feel?
Well, you know, I'm just proud to be racing age. You know, for my father to be here, and you know, all the credit goes to him.
So what happens tonight? Knock off when the office is all full of white belts. What's the Braziers going to do tonight?
Oh, I know what I'm going to be doing. I don't know about I'm going to be partying.
No. So what's the game plan from here? We've got the Australian Championship coming up very, very shortly. Are you going to that?
Yeah, I am going to the Australian Championship. I feel I've got to, you know, lead on a lot of the people up there. Our car seems to go quite good on a track like that. So.
Just finally, the Classic. What's your view of the Classic as opposed to all the other major one in Australia?
I think the Classic, you know, is right up there with the Australian title. You know, it's one of the biggest races. You know, like to be able to win it, you know, it's a great thing to do. It's just like a World Series is a consistent thing. So you got to go to each race.
Hop in there and do a wrap with the 2 of you.
Right. Harry, what's your movement tomorrow morning to get up? Another new day. What's the forward from here?
Well, I'm just going to take each day as it comes. We're going to go home and do a bit of work at the drum factory to keep the money, only where, you know, where we have to spend it. So we're just going to take each day at a time. Hopefully get the car ready for the Australian title, which is our next race. Hopefully come out with a victory like we did here tonight.
20-year-old Gary Brazier, the winner of the 1993 Grand Annual Sprintcar Classic here at Warrnambool, and maybe the driver to win it ever. Righto guys, I'm just going to sum, and maybe the youngest driver to win it, win the Grand Annual Sprintcar, whatever I do. When I finish, I want you guys just to scream and roar and wave your arms. The word will be ever, right? You got it? Okay, rolling. Yep. Gary Brazier, 20-year-old from Guildford in New South Wales, maybe the youngest racer to the Grand Annual Sprintcar Classic ever.
How old are you?
The rod. Right, hang on. Gary's going to do autographs. Where would you like to do?
I've got to go over that way because the truck's got to get loaded up.
Okay, he's heading towards the announcer's deal over there. Head that way.
Yeah, but Melissa, Rhonda, just tell her that Melissa is in the line.
I'll get it when she comes
Hey, Rhonda, you get that back.
Andrew and Carol, quickly, are you here, Andrew and Carol?
Yeah.
Did you do last night?
Yeah.
When did we have it ready?
A couple of weeks, so.
Do you like racing? Sprint cars.
Okay.